Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Off the heels of a 3-1 thriller in Bourne, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks return to the friendly confines of McKeon Park with one simple objective: sweep the Bourne Braves 2-in-barbecue and advance to the Western Division Finals. Energy, emotion, and stakes at an all-time high heading into Game 2 of the series. Welcome to the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs presented by Reader's Hardwood Supply on Cape League TV. Hello, everyone, from inside the broadcast booth. I'm Max Schwartzberg alongside Giovanni Collada and Graham Nash. Welcome to Harbor Hawks Baseball, and welcome to what has already been an electric postseason, just one game in. And as we look at the bracket, yesterday, Hyannis defeats Bourne 3-1, Katuitt a 5-4 win in 10 innings over Wareham. And in the East, YD a 4-1 win over the Orleans Firebirds. And then Harwich, how about that blowout 10-2 win over the Brewster Whitecaps? And especially going to last night in Bourne, it was a game that the pitching really carried Mitch Carricker's squad forward, Graham.
Yeah, the pitching was phenomenal, starting with Carson Yasa, who over 4 innings only allowed 2 hits, no runs. He did allow 4 walks. He struck out 5. The walks were kind of what plagued him in that ball game, but he kept his sheet clean. That is all that manager Mitch Carricker cared about. And the pitchers after him followed. Really, really impressive. Hyannis kept Bourne 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position in last night's ball game. And this is a Bourne team that has the best batting average, or had the best batting average in the Cape Cod Baseball League regular season. So to keep them hitless with runners in scoring position was huge.
Well, sticking with runners in scoring position for the Harbor Hawks, Gio, despite 9 hits on the day, only one of those with runners in scoring position.
Bourne was bad with runners in scoring position. Hyannis not much better. The Harbor Hawks stranded at least 2 runners along the base paths in each of the first 3 innings. And while Hyannis did take the lead in the first 5, it was definitely a struggle with all those runners on. Seemingly nothing going right at the plate for Hyannis. It's been a problem that's plagued the Harbor Hawks all season long, as Hyannis finished dead last in the Cape League with a .216 average with runners in scoring position. It's certainly been an issue all year, but no better night than now to rectify it.
Well, before the game, I talked to Hyannis manager Mitch Carricker. Max Schwartzberg alongside manager Mitch Carricker. Coach, Bourne has defeated Hyannis in each of the last 3 postseasons, but tonight you had the chance to sweep the series against them. What's the mindset going in?
Yeah, I think for us, we just want to focus on what we can do well. Need a good start out of Max. Need to play good defense behind him and be competitive at the plate. That's what we talk about all the time. If we can do those 3 things, we got a chance.
And talking about Max Stamell, who's getting the start tonight, as you mentioned, last night the pitching really set the tone. What does he need to do to continue that success?
Yeah, I think attack the strike zone. I think when we get in trouble, it's when we give up walks or errors or something like that. So if he can attack the strike zone, we play good defense. I think we like our chances.
And 9 hits for the offense last night. How do you want them to continue that momentum and really just continue adding pressure?
Yeah, I think just have a good approach. I mean, they got a slew of good arms down there, and so it's going to be making adjustments in that bat and then from guy to guy and, just being competitive up there. If we can do that, I think we'll be okay.
Good luck, Coach. Guys? Well, Graham, the games keep getting bigger, but Mitch Carricker stays calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, he's the same guy that he was to begin the season, just confident in his team. And his message hasn't changed to them over the course of the season. It's the same thing every time. Play catch, just try to be solid defensively, no errors. And then on the offensive side, stick to your approach. He doesn't like it when the guys change up things too much. He wants them to stick to what has been working over the course of the season. Take those balls, compete in the zone, but don't try to expand anything. It's worked, and it definitely worked last night.
Well, it was a thrilling regular season series against these Braves, and last night in the postseason, Gio, was no different. There's no reason to expect tonight to not be as fun.
Bourne and Hyannis have experienced everything from lightning delays to walk-off wild pitches to errors in the field to just crazy back-and-forth affairs. And like you said, last night the emotion and passion and energy was there from the first pitch to the last, and then even beyond it as well. Bit of a scrum behind home plate, and I think that'll take a very interesting night here at Game 2 at McKeon Park. Emotion's going to be riding high.
Where our sideline reporters Ethan Wax and David Fernandez caught up with a couple players.
Catching up with Devin Mitchell pregame. And Devin, is this series more meaningful to you guys, knowing that Bourne has eliminated this team each of the last 3 seasons?
It definitely has kind of built a fire in us to be the team that finally get over that hump for the last 3 years. So I think we're ready to do it. Got to win the first night, and we got Max Stamell on the mound again to hopefully get it done.
And how important was it to win that first game, set the tone?
It's huge because being a lower seed, we were away the first game. So Game 2 is at our place, and having to win the first game on the road is definitely huge because now we have home field advantage going into night number 2.
What does this team need to do to, I know this is a lofty question, but win this championship?
Just do the same thing over and over. If you make a mistake, forget about it, move on to the next play. Last night was one of our first nights in a while without an error. So if we can keep clean defense, keep throwing strikes on the mound like Chris Diaz and Carson Yasa, we'll win every game.
I like the confidence. What can the team do to hit better in the clutch?
Just take a deep breath, not try to get too big, because a lot of times yesterday we had bases loaded, nobody out, and we didn't get the job done. And that's kind of been a theme lately for us. But I think if we just take a deep breath, just put a ball in play, good things will come.
Great. Thank you for your time tonight, and good luck.
Thank you, Ethan. Appreciate it.
Guys.
Ava Fernandez alongside Jace Doby, who had a double last night in yesterday's game. And Jace, what was your approach at bat?
Just not trying to do too much. I was working on pregame, just trying to stay more on my back leg, and then that was just my focus. I think it allowed me to have a quicker bat, so I was able to wait on pitches more, see it more in the zone, and
Yeah, and you've been here for a few weeks now. You kind of have worked your way up the lineup. What does that kind of mean for you to kind of work your way up like that? What have you kind of learned from your experience being here so far?
I mean, I think it's just, it's all part of a process, and baseball's a long season. There's a lot of things that can go on, so just taking it day by day, stack up good days, and then good results will show.
Yeah, and you mentioned it was a long season. How do you kind of keep that motivation going into tonight, playoff game? You guys just won last night, to kind of make sure that, sorry, thought the ball was coming to hit us, but kind of that you guys are keeping that same motivation.
Just focusing on one game at a time, not trying to look too far ahead. It can seem like a long way to go, but if we're just focusing on the next pitch, the next play, then it goes by faster, and it's not something we have to worry about.
Yeah, well, Jace is in the lineup tonight, and he played a great game yesterday, getting the sacrifice fly, a double, and 2 base hits. So hopefully we can keep that same motivation at bat tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Ethan and Ava. First pitch between the Harbor Hawks and Bourne Braves coming up next.
I think, Dean, they're allowing you to find your own success and your own true independence.
Dean is a whole group of all different kinds of people and communities.
Since I've come to Dean, I've learned a lot of time management skills.
Our community is especially tight-knit, and the majority of our students live on campus. And you are guaranteed 4 years of housing while you attend Dean.
Dean is just full of opportunities for you to embrace, to welcome, so you can change yourself to who you want to be and form your career for the future.
So go through that, all right? Think that way.
Be a bulldog. Have a bulldog mentality in everything you do in life, whether you're playing sports or in the classroom or just socializing around campus.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
Let's see how Mitch Carricker penciled in his Harbor Hawks here for Game 2 of the Western Division Series. Owen Prince will lead it off, or rather for the Braves, Gavin Kelly to lead it off with Ryan Cooney batting second. Cal Sefcik bats third. Luke Costello batting fourth. Sebastian Mexico, one lefty, one of two lefties in the starting lineup. Mark Quattrani batting sixth with Jason Torres batting seventh. John LaGrande batting eighth, and Riker Waite, you see right there, the lone RBI ground out yesterday in the win. On the hill for the Harbor Hawks is Max Stamell as well. But first, the Cape Cod Baseball League is delighted to welcome Reader's Hardwood Supply as the presenting sponsor of the 2025 Cape League playoffs. As a local family-run business with deep roots on Cape Cod, Reader Hardwood Supply brings its commitment to craftsmanship and community to the most exciting aspect of the summer baseball season. Thank you to Jim and Paula Reader for their continued support of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Well, Max Stamell on the hill for the Harbor Hawks, and he has been electric in the last couple starts, coming in with a nice crisp 3.1 earned run average over 20 in the third innings last time out against Harwich on August 1st. 4 innings, 4 hits, just the 1 run. It was earned. 1 walk and 5 strikeouts, so kind of pitching to the advantages of the Harbor Hawks pitching staff.
Absolutely, and he was picking up steam as a reliever, but he has surged as a starter, solidified as Mitch Carricker's number 2 guy, and he's pitched very well against these Bourne Braves, also because he's seen them the most. His 11 strikeouts against Bourne are the most from any Harbor Hawks pitcher against a single opponent this year, and his last outing against Bourne was his best of the entire season with a 5-inning stretch, just 4 hits allowed, no runs, clean slate, 4 strikeouts and a walk in a run rule victory. And the odd part is that Hyannis has a losing record versus Bourne when Stamell starts. But knowing how much of a heater he's on coming into this game, especially off that last start in Harwich to begin August as well, should be a pretty good day for him on the bump.
Well, the strikeout's obviously a big part of Stamell's game as we take a look at the defensive alignment in the outfield. Jeff Luigi, Owen Prince, Devin Mitchell, Jake Schaffner, and Jace Doby at the corners with Charlie Bates and Ryan McKay up the middle. Dane LaChance does the catching for Max Stamell, and you see Gabe Camacho get a day off defensively, but he'll be slotted in at DH. And especially for Stamell, a guy who's known for his strikeouts. Last night against Bourne at Doran Park, 12 punch-outs as a hitting staff. Hyannis going to look to continue to get those swings and misses.
It was really quick work, too, from Carson Yasa, who struck out 5 in his 4 2/3. 2 strikeouts in the first inning of Cade Lewis and Riker Waite, both swinging. He only had 2 strikeouts looking with a 12-6 curveball that worked really well. Stamell, on the other hand, has a 3-pitch mix. Doesn't feature that hanger as much as Carson Yasa does, but the changeup is his go-to off-speed pitch in that mix. 78 to 82 miles per hour sitting for the lefty Max Stamell. I'm curious to see how he uses that tonight, knowing the breaking ball works so well for Yasa.
Well, a really nice crowd on hand here at McKeon Park. A potential clinching game for the Harbor Hawks to move on to the Western Division Finals should they hold on and sweep the Bourne Braves, a team that has bounced them from the postseason in each of the last 3 years. First pitch from Stamell away, and we are underway at McKeon Park, 6 o'clock on the dot. Kelly was 1 for 5 last night. He scored the lone run for Scott Landers in the Braves' 3-1 loss to these Harbor Hawks. Fly ball center field, Owen Prince in the alleyway all the way to the warning track with room for out number 1 here in the first.
Pretty good start for Max Stamell. Gavin Kelly left off yesterday for Bourne. It took him just a few pitches to ground out to begin that game against Carson Yassa. And Stamell challenging the zone early against a righty batter.
Ryan Cooney, who did not fare well against the Hyannis pitching staff, 0 for 4 with 3 punch-outs last night. But he slots up to the second part of the order. Of course, a lot influx based on some players out of the lineup after that scuffle when the game ended. Of course, the bench is cleared. Kay Lewis and Braden Holcomb not going to be in there today for the Braves, and Brody Briggs won't be in there for Mitch Carricker. 1-0 is off to the right, foul, not a play.
And those losses for Bourne are going to loom very large. Holcomb and Lewis specifically, 2 of the guys that have been there for Bourne since day 1, over 40% between those 2 of the entire season hitting production for the Braves.
On a 1-1, Cooney takes away. Another everyday guy for Scott Landers. This is game 30 for the third baseman. On the ground up the middle. Charlie Bates to his left for out number 2.
Couple of long runs for Prince and Charlie Bates. Here he makes a beautiful play at a pretty hot ground ball coming towards second base. A nice pick, nice slide, and a sling over to first for out number 2.
So it's Cal Sefcik, who picked up 1 of 3 hits for Bourne last night. Another guy with multiple punch-outs. At least 5 of the 9 hitters in the starting lineup for Bourne, at least 2 strikeouts.
And you can see that they weren't in attack mode yesterday as much as they have been in this first inning. Gavin Kelly swinging at the second pitch, Cooney but the 4th or 5th. And there a first pitch swing from Cal Sefcik.
On an 0-1, Sefcik takes at the bottom of the zone. 0-2, and Sefcik, or rather Stamell, jumping ahead early, and that's what he did against Harwich.
So it allowed him to go into 4 innings and pick up strikeouts like he has, challenging the zone early as well, too.
Looking for a quick first inning, but that's downstairs. This will be pitch 10 of the first inning. Sefcik strikes out swinging. A 1-2-3 top of the first inning for Max Stamell. Scoreless as we head to the bottom.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
For each Harbor Hawks home run hit this season here at McKeon Park, $50 is donated to the family pantry of Cape Cod by Monomoy Real Estate and Construction. And Pretty Picky Properties Select Vacation Rentals. Pretty Picky and Monomoy, the team with everything you need to hit a real estate home run on Cape Cod. Well, now let's take a look at how Mitch Carricker has penciled it in. I jumped the gun a little bit too early last inning, but Owen Prince to lead it off with Jace Doby batting second. Ryan McKay and Gabe Camacho back-to-back lefties. Dayton LaChance breaks up that string, but you go right back to it with Luigi and Charlie Bates. Devin Mitchell and Jake Schaffner. And as you see, Charlie Bates recorded the first multi-hit game since July 18th yesterday. And if he can get hot in this postseason, he's going to be a big asset for Mitch Carricker. But on the hill for the Braves, it's Folger Boaz. And you see right there, a 5.75 earned run average and 20 in the third. Last time out against Wareham on the 30th, 4 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And he's going to face a lefty-heavy lineup. 5 southpaws in the batter's box for Mitch Carricker. And it's kind of been like that all season, and they have really thrived. First pitch to the speedster Owen Prince is ball 1.
And it's no surprise that Hyannis has got so many that he's gone lefty heavy. Not only because that's what he's got on his roster, but because Hyannis has been so good against left-handed batters. 260 average, good for 3rd in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Fastball slider, changeup cutter for Boaz. 2-0 in there for strike 1. But Hyannis, as of late, has struggled a little bit against lefties. They were first in the Cape League with a 259 average, 726 OPS. As the 2-1's in there for a strike during the last week of the season, but now entering the postseason, that's dropped to 249, 698. So kind of a weak spell that coincided with that 3-game losing streak, which was snapped last night in the beginning of what we like to call a new season, postseason baseball.
It sure was really promising to see, and especially because of the fact that Hyannis ran into a lot of really good arms coming into the postseason in each of the 3 losses preceding the playoffs.
3-2, he gets him swinging. First strikeout of the day for Folger Boaz.
Now Folger going upstairs here, and Owen Prince tried to send this one over the scoreboard. As healthy a cut as we've seen from the center fielder all season long, who's essentially locked up the leadoff spot. Surprised to see that swing decision there, but a good start for the southpaw of North Carolina.
Well, Jay Stobie, a guy who saw the Braves very well last night. 3 hits, including a double and then an RBI sacrifice fly back in the 9th inning. A much-needed insurance run for Mitch Carricker, which they didn't need in the end, but obviously anything to take pressure off your pitcher, it might have made a difference. Ryan Speciak pitched a clean 9th inning before, of course, the bench is cleared after the final out.
And last night may not have been Dobie's best performance, but it was surely his most timely performance of the summer to go 3 for 4 game 1 of the postseason.
Falls behind 1-2 here.
Guy that's a hitter for average at every level he's played at, with an average over 300 in every season of his college baseball career.
On a 1-2, Dobie swats it foul off to the right. And these are the types of at-bats that Mitch Carricker needs. Deep at-bats, of course, Owen Prince ends in a strikeout. But if he's able to see all those pitches, he gets to report right back to the dugout what he's seeing, and that's already going to be an advantage. Away for ball 2.
We mentioned at the top of the show that Hyannis stranded at least 2 runners in each of the first 3 innings. But when it got guys on in the 5th, you could see those adjustments that you were talking about play out in real time.
Another foul off to the right. And we see Boaz going repeatedly to that breaking ball. Kind of his bread and butter pitch early on, but Hyannis, one of the better off-speed hitting teams, at least earlier on in the season, was the fastball. Then a mid-season slump against the Heaters really brought them out against breaking balls. Whoa, get out of the way. Ball 3.
I can't believe that Dobie, with the stance he has, really closes off the plate, rather opens up. And with that back foot on the line, I can't believe he was able to contort his body out of the way.
Payoff. That's ball 4. Hyannis draws a walk with 1 out here in the first. They drew 3 of those last night. They issued 5 on the mound, but anytime they can get it in a team, as we take a look at the defensive alignment for the Bourne Braves. Cal Sefcik in left, John Legrande in center, Sebastian Mexico in right. Ryan Cooney and Jason Torres make up the corners with Riker Waite and Gavin Kelly up the middle. Mark Quattrani does the catching for Folger Boaz.
You see the effect of the suspensions on that Bourne defense. Gavin Kelly caught last night. Of course, he's still leading off, but he's got to move to second base, a spot he's seldom played in this season. Mark Quattrani, who's playing for his second Cape League team of the summer, getting his first catching reps here with Bourne in a very big spot.
Chopper right side, that's going to get its way through, but a ranging job from Kelly, and he's going to try to backpick Doby at second as everybody is safe.
You can see Hyannis has got all the momentum in its favor right now, and Gavin Kelly does a great job getting to this ball and probably makes a decision that was very risky, backpicking Doby, who overran the bag a bit, but not enough to induce a throw from the knees, especially from Gavin Kelly.
Well, the ball has not left the infield this game for the Harbor Hawks, but they got 2 on and 1 away for Gabe Camacho getting the DH duties for Mitch Carricker.
We mention all the time that Camacho, a powerful bat, still looking for that big hit. That first offering from Folger Boas right there looked like a really good pitch to swing at lefty on righty. Or lefty on lefty, rather.
Breaking ball straightens him up inside. Camacho still looking for his first hit of the postseason. But at the end of the regular season, he was really seeing the ball well as he gets a unfavorable call in the outside corner and falls behind. That final stretch of the season, while he wasn't really racking up hits, he was seeing the ball well, and he just was getting unlucky outs.
And he did have a hit in 3 of the last 4 games, including 2 for 2 against Bourne on the 31st, but that's to go along with a couple strikeouts in each of those performances as well.
In the air foul off to the left.
He is a hit-or-miss swinger, of course, the powerful bat. He's going to take chances where he sees them, and obviously sometimes he's going to miss, but it's just still so surprising to see that he hasn't left the yard, given he's hit so many balls so hard off the bat.
Well, we didn't see Camacho at Doran Park last night, so looking to make an impact here in his first postseason action. And he swats one. That's through the left side in the left field. Carricker gives Doby the stop sign. They'll play station to station as the bases are loaded for Dayton LaChance.
That's a recipe for disaster if you're Bourne, but what a great piece of hitting by Gabe Camacho to flare it the other way. Now, it takes a bit of a slow hop through the outfield grass, and Cal Sefcik ranging towards it made the good run, and that's why Doby was held up at third base. A good decision for Mitch Carricker with 1 out to play with, knowing he's got his best hitter recently at the plate.
Well, Dayton LaChance now 9 for 15 against Bourne. His double last night was the difference in the game. On July 25th, he went 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs against these Braves, and he takes strike 1, looking to make a splash here in the first inning.
The key difference here is that he'll be catching and not DHing with the suspension to Brody Briggs, and the numbers really jarringly different when he is behind the plate versus when he only gets to focus on hitting.
Bases flocked with Hawks. On an 0-1, LaChance rips it to left. That's in for a base hit. Doby scores. McKay is stopped. Everybody moves up 90 feet as Hyannis takes a 1-0 lead.
Looks like a new Harbor Hawk team here in the postseason, and Dayton LaChance, a big reason why. Dunks it right in left field on a perfect piece of hitting. Only took him a couple of pitches to get used to Folger Boas, and he remains red hot against Bourne.
Hyannis looking for a little death by 1,000 cuts here in this first inning. That's now 3 consecutive singles. Jeff Luigi did not play last night against Bourne as well. So there's 2 lefties in Camacho and Luigi that Mitch Carricker elected not to go to in game 1.
That's really shocking to hear as well when we were sitting and looking at the lineup yesterday that Luigi wasn't in, but it makes somewhat sense when you consider his recent stretch of play.
Falls behind 0-2 here.
Struck out in each of the last 4 games to end the season. He was also held hitless in 3 of those last 4. And while he was a Cape League All-Star, he didn't have his best stuff towards the end of the season. And so trying to reignite that here in the playoffs.
Luigi to the left side. Third baseman Cooney steps on the bag for 1. The throw to first is in time for a 5-3 unassisted double play. Hyannis scores 1, but they'll keep the damage at there. 1-0 Hyannis heading to the second.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
The lights at McKeon Park stay bright all season long thanks to the NAC Cape Cod. The NAC offers 2 locations, Hyannis and Orleans, both offering delicious burgers, tacos, sandwiches, and more. Visit thenaccapecod.com to order online today. The NAC Cape Cod is proud to be the light of the park sponsor of the Harbor Hawks all season long. Max Stamell set down the Braves in order back in the first inning, and now he's going to face 4, 5, 6 here in the second with Luke Costello, Sebastian Mexico, Mark Quattrani. He only needed 10 pitches, and he looked really good.
He looked as clean as he has in each of the last 2 starts. And over his last 9 innings, he's only allowed 1 run with 7 hits, but 9 strikeouts as well. And we saw some of the stuff on that fastball and changeup specifically that have gotten him to that success over his last couple of outings. And while he doesn't have the velocity that Carson Yassa had yesterday, of course, he's in the upper 90s range. Stamell Westing 89, 91 this year. And I think it was really indicative of how good a pitcher he is with his breaking ball and off speed, maneuvering the zone the way he did.
Luke Costello was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts last night. And as mentioned, 5 of the 9 Bourne Braves in the starting lineup, at least 2 strikeouts. Hyannis punched out 12 on the day. First pitch is fouled back to our crowd mic. This is just game 2 for Costello. 1 for 3, but his 1 hit is a double. And for Hyannis, it's so important after they got the 1 run. Still looked for a little bit more, but to get those hot backs right back in the dugout.
And it starts with Stamell as well. And he's just... He looks that much more comfortable, as much as he did in that first inning. Only 10 pitches used to get out of, to face the minimum in the first. Pitching with the lead has got to ease that process for him so much. And I'm really curious to see how he changes his approach or doesn't change his approach given that 1 run.
On a 1-2, Costello takes ball 2.
And the thing to notice here with Stamell, as opposed to Carson Yassa yesterday, who suffered some uncompetitive misses, here Stamell's got the competitive misses, and Bourne is making him work to get ahead in counts.
At the knees, strike 3 called. Pulled the string.
Case in point. Absolutely perfect location from Max Stamell, and that's a pitch that the batter could chase or leave off like he did there. And at that spot, it's really hard to, with an uncompetitive miss, get that strike 3 call.
Coming off a 4-inning start against Harwich, with just that 1 earned run. And before that, it was against Bourne on the 25th, which was his first start of the entire summer. We went 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs on 4 strikeouts. A lot of these guys who started off as relievers have taken those starting pitching roles for Mitch Carricker, especially as the summer has gotten deeper.
And that's been a godsend for Mitch Carricker, who had a pretty solid rotation beginning out, but he's had to really cycle through guys.
Chopper right side, straight away for Ryan McKay. Out number 2.
And Stamell sure has stepped up into that number 2 slot alongside Carson Yassa, who is the first instance of a former reliever for this Hyannis team stepping into a starting role and doing phenomenally well. But I'd nominate Eddie Copper to be that 3rd guy. And he was the latest to go in the bullpen of those 3, Stamell, Yassa, and then Eddie Copper has really come up of late, bursting onto the starting scene.
Well, here's Mark Quattrani, who did not play last night. Gavin Kelly, who's playing second base for Scotlanders, was at catcher last night. But Quattrani getting his first action against the Harbor Hawks this postseason. Pulls the string once more. That changeup really working from Stamell.
It's locating with excellent precision. He's using it in a way he's comfortable. He's not over-relying on it like we saw Carson Yasa fall victim to after that breaking ball located for a couple of looking Ks. Really in a groove right now.
In the air right side. Long run for Devin Mitchell into foul territory by the bullpen. He makes the catch. For out number 3, 6 up, 6 down for Max Stamell. 1-0 Harbor Hawks heading to the bottom of the second.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Bottom of the second inning here at McKeon Park. Harbor Hawks on top 1-0. They had the bases loaded, and they grounded into that 5-3 unassisted double play that kept the damage at just the 1 run. Charlie Bates, the 7-8-9 due up for Mitch Carricker with Bates, Devin Mitchell, and Jake Schaffner. And we alluded to it a little bit earlier, but it looked like they just wanted a little bit more of that first inning.
Yeah, something certainly left out from Hyannis, and that was a theme yesterday as well, where Hyannis left the bases loaded in the second inning, left runners on the corners in the first and third, and there, that double play for Bourne, albeit an awkward one with the 5 unassisted, but that could come back to be extremely significant over the course of this game as the Braves begin to figure out Max Stamell. If they eventually get him out of the game and start to scrape some runs across, it could be absolutely have an effect.
Well, we talked about it earlier, but Bates last night, 2 knocks, picked up his first multi-hit game since July 18th. He's kind of had that up and down season, really cold stretches, really hot stretches, and then as the season winded down, that is the regular season, went back into one of those rough patches. But if he could kind of have a new life for the postseason, he's going to be big for the Harbor Hawks. Going to go left on left and take strike 1.
And he's locked himself into the 7 batting hole shortstop position because of, yes, his versatility, but also his consistency in that position to lead off innings like he has here. He's done pretty well.
But he quickly falls behind 0-2, especially during that 0 for 20s patch he went through at the end of June into July with 12 strikeouts. A lot of that was because he was falling behind so quickly like he does right here.
But yesterday, he comes up in his first 2 at-bats, gets a couple singles, as you mentioned, with a stolen base, and yeah, he can fall down, but he's making much better swing decisions and is recognizing pitches as well as he has all season.
Takes down low, and the count even at 2, so he goes from 0-2 to 2-2, and this is exactly what he needs to do if he wants to stay in these competitive at-bats.
Case in point from Charlie Bates, the eye has improved so much over the course of this season.
On a 2-2, Bates strikes out the second strikeout of the night for Folger Boaz. Gets us started here in the second.
Yeah, his eye's gotten better, but doesn't mean he's not going to take any risks because of how much better he's hitting. Bates striking out in a similar pitch to what started the game with Owen Prince, high heater from the lefty Boaz.
Devin Mitchell, who's been seeing some more consistent playing time as of late, getting back-to-back starts against these Bourne Braves. He was in right field yesterday as well. He had 7 consecutive starts since being activated on July 11th. Then he was in and out of the lineup as he's well out ahead right here. But especially with the departure of Sawyer Black, he might be seeing a lot more time for Mitch Carricker.
That's certainly what it's been in August. He started the final 5 games of the season after a 4-day break playing these Braves on the 25th. And that consistent playing time after sporadic play, we played 7 straight games, then only played 1 game for the next 7 days, really starting to get back into the swing of things.
Breaking ball away. Mitchell out of Florence Darlington Tech Junior College, but he's going to be going to NC State this upcoming fall. A .399 average this past spring. On a 2-1, he launches to right center field. Long run, and that is going to kick in the alleyway and roll all the way to the wall. Mitchell on his way to second, and he's got a one-out double.
That is all sorts of confusion from the Bourne defense on this relay, but what a great piece of hitting from Devin Mitchell. Flares it right into the alley, takes a hard bounce, so you can see what sort of flux the Bourne defense is in. That's the shortstop, Riker Waite. The first baseman, Jason Torres, came all the way over from his post to cover there because Gavin Kelly nowhere to be found by second.
And it's really good to see him go opposite field. He's been really pull side, at least to start his Cape League summer. Of course, his first at bat against Orleans, the day he was activated, he didn't even expect to play. He came in for Jason Walk, who exited that game with an injury. Then he popped a home run, of course, to left field. Arguably his best swing of the season, still right there.
I think that's absolutely right. Of his 6 hits, all of them have been to that left side. And for Mitchell, if he starts going the other way, he could be doubly dangerous.
Jake Schaffner, another incoming transfer. This time going from North Dakota State to UNC Chapel Hill.
This is a pivotal juncture of the outing for Folger Boas. Has to settle in here after a rocky start.
Hyannis was 1 for 11 last night in runners in scoring position. The one hit belonged to Dayton LaChance. Same thing here tonight already in 1AB, but an opportunity for Jake Schaffner. On a 2-0, Boas spins off the mound and fires to second, disengages.
You can tell he's a little rattled too. Boas has let up 4 hits to this point in the game. He does have 2 strikeouts, but he's really leading off the back of that inning-ending double play in the first.
Hyannis has been excellent in their left-on-left at-bats this season. Batting left-handed, a .249 team average, .698 OPS, but they've struggled over the last week of the regular season. That batting average on left was at first, but it's dropped to 4th. It was at .259, .726. Really before that Falmouth game, that Mercy Rule loss at Guv Fuller Field.
And everyone was bad for the Harbor Hawks then. No wonder that it plummeted Schaffner's average.
Good hitters count to a good hitter. 3-1 is low for ball 4. Second walk of the day for Folger Boas, and the Hawks trying to get another rally started here in the second.
And knowing that this is how things spiraled out of control last night, of course, Hyannis didn't score until the 5th, but it did flock the base paths early on. For Scott Landers, the leash has got to be shortening for Folger Boas.
Turns it over for top of the order, Owen Prince, who opened the game for the Harbor Hawks with a strikeout back in the bottom of the first. Greeted with a first pitch strike there. You got to give credit to Boas. It seems like he's made adjustments when he's had that streak of wildness. He immediately jumps ahead of Prince.
It's absolutely imperative for the Braves. Back against the wall coming into this game down 0-1.
Briefly showed a bunt, and he takes a ball.
I think also for Boas that it's been too lackluster in terms of his challenging of the zone when he jumps ahead. As you see there, he throws that ball outside to Owen Prince.
Prince tied for 5th on the team with 4 stolen bases, but he's only playing in game 16. And of course, he was 3rd in the NCAA at VMI in swipes this past spring. Behind in the count, 1-2 here. With Mitchell on second, Schaffner on first. Hawks looking to add on to an early 1-0 advantage. On a 1-2, Prince gets out of the way, and the count back even.
This is the first example for Folger Boas as they flip the order here of the adjustment to that first inning strikeout for Owen Prince in particular. The guys that follow him, the next 4 batters all reached, so they're looking to further success against the lefty.
Back up the middle, it's off of the glove of Boas. It changes direction, and everybody's going to be safe. They go station to station, and the bases will be filled once more.
Things are all falling apart for Folger Boas. Wonder when we see Scott Landers out here. It's right to him. Hits off his glove and stops on the infield grass as Riker Wade approaches it. Easy leg out for the speedster Owen Prince.
They probably had a double play there if he didn't just let it go up the middle. Maybe not because of Prince's speed, but they at least would have gotten the force out at second for the fielder's choice.
You at least give yourself a chance to turn 2.
Chase Doby, first pitch swinging, and a nice play by Mitch Carricker, but he drops it down the third base line.
And I think Chase Doby this series, whether we knew it or not going in, is the X factor in this game in particular because of how well he's seeing the ball. If Bourne pitching gives him trouble, that will be indicative of the Braves' success.
0-1 is in there. Boas immediately jumps ahead. Pitch count is rising, 47 deep, 28 strikes through 1 1/3. Braves in dire need of a double play right here. Hawks looking to elevate and celebrate. 0-2 is elevated to right field. Luke Costello sizes it up, and here comes Devin Mitchell. The throw to the plate is cut off, and Hyannis takes a 2-0 lead.
That was sure a decision from Jason Torres over at first. Costello with a seemingly perfect throw into Mark Quattrani. It would have been a close play at the plate, but Torres eliminated any chance of that by cutting it off on the infield grass.
Well, Mitchell didn't get the best jump. I just feel like maybe Jason Torres assumed that he was just going to make it easily there, but that was probably going to be pretty close.
Mitchell might have slid it in. Again, it's hard to say because Torres didn't give us a chance to see it.
First pitch, and there's a rundown right here. Owen Prince caught up, the throw to the plate. Not in time. Jake Schaffner steals home. Owen Prince takes second.
Superb base running from Hyannis, whether it was purposeful or not. Schaffner caught them asleep, and that is exactly the effect of having a guy like Owen Prince on first base.
So it's just Schaffner on second. 2 more runs home for the Harbor Hawks. Or it's Prince on second. And Ryan McKay spits on a 1 down low. Outside for ball 2, and Folger Boas maybe a little bit rattled by what's going on. A lot of traffic on the base pass. He's filling up the strike zone pretty well, but when he is, Hyannis still getting some knocks on him.
And I'm shocked to not see anybody in the bullpen for Scott Landers.
Okay, checked his swing on a ball downstairs. Did he go? No, he did not.
Boas has struggled this season allowing runs. He leads the Braves in runs allowed. Also boasts the highest walks per 9 among Bourne starters at 6.2. Very hit or miss.
3-0, taken on the outside corner.
And we say him hit or miss because he is a strikeout pitcher. Like we've seen today in this game, he passes Matt Shorey for the most Ks among Bourne starters at 21.
And he works it back full. Folger Boas trying to battle back into this at-bat.
And it'd be huge for Scott Landers if he's able to get out of this inning at least.
McKay was 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts yesterday. He was not happy with Sam Finn behind the plate at Doran Park. Sam Finn now the first base umpire. Marvick Gomez at third. Mike Hinojosa at the plate. 3-0 Hyannis, only in the bottom of the second. Payoff is back up the middle. Gavin Kelly on the run and in time. 3-0 Harbor Hawks heading to the third.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Top of the third from McKeon Park. Let's take you guys around the league. Of course, everybody's scoreboard watching the postseason. Brewster on top, 7-3 over Harwich to take the win. Wareham and Katuitt tied at 2 in the 10th inning. An 8-2 YD lead over Orleans. And of course, here at McKeon Park, Hyannis on top of Bourne 3-0.
Certainly something to see that game go to the 10th between the Kettleers and the Gatemen. Katuitt with an expected record nearly 10 games higher than they actually finished. Snuck into the playoffs a lot like Hyannis and are now making waves at Lowell Park. We'll see how that game finishes. Of course, the winner of this series will get the winner of the Wareham-Katuitt series.
On all the excitement on the base paths, it's easy to forget that Max Stamell has gone 6 up, 6 down.
And I can't imagine how impactful all of Hyannis' offensive success has been for him. Yes, to pitch for the lead, that's good, but for that extended break between innings as well. Couple strikeouts on the last batter of the first and the opening batter of the second, so he's looked awfully comfortable. All 3 of his pitches working beautifully right now.
He's going to face 7, 8, 9, Jason Torres, John LeGrande, and Riker Waite. Only 2 southpaws in the starting lineup at the plate for Scott Landers, and obviously probably strategic considering Bourne, the best hitting team as left-handed hitters, but the worst left-on-left hitting team in the Cape League. 0-1. And he's automatic with the strikes.
Throwing first pitch strikes is something Mitch Carricker, yes, it's somewhat stating the obvious, but he says it so often because Hyannis has struggled so much with it this season. And Stamell's been the complete opposite of that in this game.
0-2 off foul to the right, out of play. Torres did not play last night against the Harbor Hawks. The first time he faced these Harbor Hawks was back on July 25th when he came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning of that 12-0 run rule win for Hyannis. 0-2, just away. Mike Hinojosa, who's behind the plate, was also there yesterday. Marvick Gomez, the only umpire, was not there at Doran Park. On a 2-2, Torres works it full.
Torres is as good as he's been for Bourne this season. Not a guy that's in Scott Landers' game 1 absolute best lineup. Struggled at the plate, 147 batting average in just 12 games. But the absences of mainstays Braden Holcomb and Cade Lewis make that decision tough.
Another pitch, another changeup, and he pulled the string, making 3 strikeouts for Max Stamell.
And 2 of them have been with tunnel breaking balls like we see here. That's a perfect location. It comes out pretty hot as well on that slider for Max Stamell. And he's done a very, very nice job on wipeout pitches.
Well, John LeGrande was originally penciled in by Scott Landers as the center fielder, but since then the lineup has changed. He's DHing. Sebastian Gonzalez is in center. Luke Costello's in right. And, of course, back in the first inning yesterday at Doran Park, he suffered an injury that the whole ballpark thought was going to be game-ending, potentially postseason ending. Then he got right back on his horse. He stayed in. Goes around.
And, folks, that's not to assume anything about the injury. It was because of the fact that he was down for a solid 5 minutes before springing up immediately and then starting to run across the outfield.
Well, at first he was unable to put weight on it, and then after a few seconds he started sprinting.
Out of nowhere.
Kind of blew all of our minds, and it's great to see. Of course, he's a tough player. After the game, I heard him saying, I'm just toughing it out, the final stretch, and this is a guy who's been playing all summer for Scott Landers, and he gets rung up. Strikeout number 4, the second backwards K for Max Stamell. He's going to try to strike out the side.
Well, Stamell was picking up steam as a reliever, but he's absolutely surged as a starter, and he's delivering his best outing right now. Boy, is he dealing, and he's feeling himself.
Riker Waite, the switch hitter. Well, very surprisingly, I've never seen this. Riker Waite electing to go left on left.
It might be emblematic of what Bourne, or rather what Stamell's done. It's maybe a sign of respect that he's going to the less favorable matchup in any effort to switch something up.
Let me preface this. You rarely ever see this. The only time you usually see it is when a guy ends the season on one side, either because he's working on his swing not in the game or because of an injury. Of course, Ozzie Albies in MLB finished the 2023 season only right-handed. 2-1.
And that, again, it comes back to the fact that Bourne's got its back against the wall. It's the Braves lose, they're done. So anything they can do to get to Stamell is necessary.
Checked his swing on a ball downstairs, 3-2. He's probably not too familiar with those left-on-left sliders that Jake Schaffner and the rest of the Harbor Hawks lineup do not like too much. Stamell looking to strike out the side, and he does not. Just outside.
That's a first base runner for Stamell of this game, but it is a few inches from 9 up, 9 down for the lefty out of Virginia. That is a really good pitch to miss on, and an excellent take from Riker Waite. Not bad switching to the left side against the lefty Stamell.
Gavin Kelly, top of the order, flew out to Owen Princeton, very deep left center field to open up the game. Golf to the left side, that's going to find its way through. Well, there goes the no-hitter after the perfecto is lost. Back-to-back base runners for the Braves.
Here come the Braves. That's another good offering from Max Stamell, but a better piece of hitting here from Gavin Kelly to follow up the take from Riker Waite. The top of the Bourne lineup when it went down in order in attack mode, swinging in the first couple of pitches despite those 3 outs. And so that strategy could certainly be in play here with the tying run coming to the plate.
Ryan Cooney grounded out his first time up. And he swats one foul off to the right out of play. And for Stamell, that strikeout was so close. It's going to be important for him to not get taken out of his rhythm. Of course, that was a bought base runner in Gavin Kelly with the single, but that was a really competitive miss to Riker Waite. That loaded up the walk. And away for ball 1.
And Stamell handled damage quite well in his last start against Harwich. He started the game with a walk to Tanner Marsh of the Mariners, then went 3 up, 3 down, then retired 3 of the next 4 batters he faced, all with 3 strikeouts.
High pop up right side. Jay Stobie, Dayton LaChance, but nobody has a play.
And these couple of pitches are going to be absolutely critical for Stamell in weathering the storm against the Braves, because even without their superstars Cade Lewis and Braden Holcomb, the Braves still have a dangerous lineup that will begin to figure things out as this game goes on.
Tying run is at the plate, and Ryan Cooney really all of a sudden. Bourne just looking to start chipping away any way they can for Scott Landers. 1-2. Straightens him up inside.
And even a run here for Bourne would be huge for the Braves going forward because, like you said, just chip away, get runs little by little, and make Mitch Carricker have to make the decisions atop the bump.
Riker Wade on second, Gavin Kelly on first, and a flare foul off to the right and out of play. Over to the Bourne bullpen.
Going that direction, certainly difficult for a righty to go the other way, but it would have worked there, and probably, if it went back far enough to the corner, had that stayed fair, brought two across because of how far Devin Mitchell was cheating towards the alley.
Fourth outing against these Braves for Stamell. The second start, and he got him. Pull the string once more. They'll strand two. 3-0 Harbor Hawks. But before we go to the bottom of the third, we're joined in the booth by our very own Ethan Wax. Ethan.
Thank you very much, Max. Last week we highlighted the unpredictability of the Cape Cod League playoffs, as for each of the past 2 seasons, upsets occurred to crown an unlikely champion. Last year, Harwich captured the title after completing an ugly regular season which saw the team lose 12 of 13 games at one point. Will it happen for the third consecutive season? And could Hyannis put together a miracle run? Tonight, the Hawks attempt to do what squads the previous 3 seasons failed to achieve. Well, that's eliminate Bourne. The Hawks were one of 3 visiting teams who had worse regular season records to snatch Game 1s of the playoffs last night. Each did so with strong starting pitching, as Carson Yassa rebounded from his worst start of the season 6 days ago to shut down the Braves. The Hawks won despite again struggling to get the key hit, going just 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position, but so far tonight they have been dominant with runners in scoring position. Guys, back over to you.
Thanks very much, Ethan. And yeah, kind of a big loaded game last night in terms of those runner in scoring position at bats. Of course, Bourne headlined the struggle. They went 0 for 9. They left 10 on base, but Hyannis, we talked about it at the top of the show, they weren't much better. 1 for 11, 9 left on base.
And 2 runners on the corners left in those first 3 innings. 1 strand of the bases loaded, and Folger Boaz is going to come out for a 3rd inning of work despite the flurry of damage he has faced in this game from the likes of Jace Doby, from Ryan McKay, from the guy coming to the plate right now in Gabe Camacho, and the fiery Dayton LaChance waits on deck for Bourne. So this is a critical part of the order for Hyannis in terms of scoring, and will be interesting to see if Landers is justified in his decision to leave Boaz in the game.
Camacho on the first pitch, foul off to the left, and what a play by a fan left side. Very nonchalant about it, sitting in his long chair. He just reaches up, gets a can of corn for a nice souvenir. Camacho in the air, left field. Cal Sefcik to the gap. Now to the warning track for out number 1.
The power on display for Gabe Camacho, going the other way as well. Mitch Carricker told us at one point this season that he was a little pull happy to start his tenure here in Hyannis. Now he's hitting to all parts of the field like you see there, and that makes him a doubly dangerous hitter.
Up comes Dayton LaChance. This guy against the Braves is simply unbelievable. I mean, we cannot understate it, overstate it enough. I mean, he converts on runners in scoring position his first time up. He came into this game 9 for 15 against these Bravos, and he continues the excellence.
I don't think it's a stretch to say that he single-handedly won that game for Hyannis. And maybe not, he didn't have the old, it didn't solely contribute to the scoreboard, but he single-handedly changed the momentum of the postseason for Hyannis. Look at how the Harbor Hawks are playing now, whereas it felt lifeless over the final 3 games of the season. It looks like the Harbor Hawks team that played here at McKeon Park at the end of June and finished first in the West Division in the opening month of the year.
Chopped left side, that'll go foul, and he broke another twig. That RBI single for LaChance, he broke the shillelagh then, and he snaps another one. Firewood And these are, ladies and gentlemen, these are not cheap bats. These things easily over $100 a pop and just snapping like toothpicks.
Well, that's what you get with 6'6", 6'4", 240 Dayton LaChance at Oklahoma. Really powerful hitter. Couple balls hit 100 miles an hour off the bat. 2 of them home runs against Orleans on the penultimate day of the season.
Folger Boaz working with his pitch comp, shaking his head at his pitch comp. 2-2, reach for left side, shortstop Riker. Wait, bobbles it, and LaChance reaches.
Well, this is the benefit of Dayton LaChance taking an opportunity like this to reach at that one in the zone. Riker Waite, so formidable in the 6-hole for Scott Landers. He just boots it, quite frankly, and that allows LaChance on base with an opportunity for Jeff Lugie.
Well, Jeff Lugie grounded into that inning-ending 5-3 unassisted double play where the Hawks had the bases loaded. That was after LaChance's RBI single. Looking for a little redemption right here, as during the last week of the season, he kind of fell a bit cold. At one point, comfortably led the Harbor Hawks in batting average. Check over at first. That's an E6 for Riker Waite that allows LaChance to reach. And for Luigi, he had a stretch of time where he had multiple games with multi-hits. Batting average has dipped to 288 as he cleans one out foul down the third base side. But he's still arguably been up there with Ryan McKay, Hyannis' most consistent hitter throughout the whole season. Of course, he was not there on opening day like Ryan. His first game was June 29th against YD. But it seems like he's been in it for the long haul because he's been here still so long. Back up the middle, off of the glove of Boaz. He's got to fire to first in time. LaChance takes second, but they're not able to roll 2. And what could have been another twin killing for Luigi.
What a fortunate bounce for Folger Boaz off of the mitt. That's the second time a ball has ricocheted off of his glove, and he collects it somehow to get the out he absolutely needed. Didn't stop the lead runner with another in scoring position for the Harbor Hawks.
Runner in scoring position for Hyannis again. They're 3 for 5 tonight in that category, so already a much-needed improvement going back to yesterday, where they were just 1 for 11 and left 9 on base. Charlie Bates struck out swinging, 1 of 2 punch-outs for Folger Boaz. His first time up. This guy's made a really nice adjustment left on left this summer. Only 25 games at Stanford during his freshman campaign. 1 home run, a 735 OPS. The Cape, one of those leagues with a lot of Stanford guys. Of course, the Harbor Hawks, no exception. They got Speshak, Sam Gerwal, Bates. Earlier in the Cape League season, a lot of Hawaii guys as well. Back check to second. That hits off of Riker Waite and deflects into right field.
Good choice from Dayton LaChance to not run there. Did spill into the outfield, maybe far enough for Owen Prince, and just too far a lead there. But for LaChance, yeah, he legged out that error from Riker Waite, but very definitely a good decision to stay in scoring position and risk ending the inning.
Well, yeah, LaChance had a chance to head the third, but he decided not to. .3-0 count to Bates, the number 7 hitter for Mitch Carricker. And it's outside for ball 4. Third walk of the day issued by Folger Boaz. And Hawks with another rally brewing here in the third.
I was about to say that it would be hard for Folger Boaz to acknowledge, or given the scoreboard, it'd be hard to acknowledge the fact that Boaz had done a pretty good job in this inning. Didn't get help from his defense to have LaChance reach. And there, an uncompetitive miss to walk Charlie Bates.
Mitchell checked his swing on a ball downstairs. Did he go? No, he did not. And back in the second inning, he had that opposite field double to the right center field alleyway. And as I said, arguably his best swing of the season. Guy who hit .399 in his last year at JUCO this past spring. And he grounds one again to the right side. Gavin Kelly ranges to his left and quells the threat for Hyannis. 3-0 Harbor Hawks as we make a call to the bullpen in the top of the fourth. Gio Collada will take you through the middle innings.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Through 3 full frames here at McKeon Park, it's been all Harbor Hawks so far in Game 2 of the West Division Series. The lefty Max Stamell re-towing the rubber for inning number 4 of work in this game. He has done a remarkable job through his first time through the Bourne Braves lineup in this one, and now gets a chance with a part of the order that's been pretty good for the Braves, that struggled just like the rest of the lineup for the Bourne Braves. Giovanni Collada with Graham Nash here for the middle 3 innings of play-by-play. And Max Stamell looks as good as he has all season long.
Yeah, he's looked phenomenal. I mean, he had an opportunity there. He was 1 strike away from facing the minimum in 3 straight innings. It would have been 9 up, 9 down. But a pitch called just outside. Riker Waite walked, and he responded pretty well. Gavin Kelly with a single right after, but then he strikes out Cooney to keep things clean. He is picking up right where Carson Yassa left off last night.
3, 4, and 5 due up for Scott Landers, and Sefcik begins it after a strikeout in the first inning to end the frame for Stamell. First pitch, tails outside for ball 1. Well, Stamell showing how comfortable he's been this season against the Bourne Braves, making appearance number 4 against the Bravos this year. Sefcik slices the 1-0 foul. His 11 strikeouts against Bourne, the most against any single opponent for a Harbor Hawk pitcher this year, and that familiarity has allowed him to start red hot in this game.
It's unbelievable. I mean, he faced Bourne in 3 consecutive appearances, and one of them was starts, so the Braves have seen him a lot. But he still is finding new ways to go to the changeup a lot, a pitch that he hasn't. He is pulling the string against a very right-handed heavy lineup.
Of the 3-pitch mix for Stamell, the breaking ball, he goes to the most, the changeup. Rests 78-82. 1-2. Drifts high at the letters to load the count to Sefcik. Oddly enough, Hyannis is 1-2 when Bourne versus Bourne when Stamell started the game. Lone win coming in his last start on the 25th. 2-2. Ripped in through the gap. It trickles into left field. A base hit. A first leadoff man to reach for the Braves here in the 4th inning. And that's a dream start for Scott Landers.
It's exactly what they needed. The breaking ball just a little bit over the plate. And Sefcik did a good job of reaching out there and going towards it because it was bending quickly towards his belt. He reached out, got bat on ball, pulled it right into the left field gap.
Sefcik's first hit of the ball game, 2nd of the series after a single yesterday. Brings up Luke Costello. Healthy cut at the first offering from Stamell. And for Bourne manager Scott Landers, of course, with the emotions of yesterday coming into this game, knowing that his back is against the wall, this is the time where he's got to knock Stamell out. Long hold before the 0-1. And Costello takes a strike on a beautiful pitch.
The Braves have so much experience. Scott Landers has a lot of experience in the postseason, in the playoffs. So, I mean, he knows what it takes to get a team through a tough spot in the playoffs, and the Braves just kind of need to answer the call now.
Costello trying to leapfrog the success of Sefcik, and Stamell can't put him away. Rising sophomore at Wake Forest, Costello only playing in his third game as a Brave tonight. One hit that was a double for Bourne. Late ad for the Braves. 1-2 drifts inside, and that's a miss we've seen from Stamell quite a bit in this game.
Yeah, that pitch is just kind of missed, and it's often been inside to these right-handers. It looks like he's just trying to get a little too crafty, paint the corners a little too much, and don't blame him going up against the best batting team in the Cape League over the regular season.
337 hits in the regular season, led the league, as mentioned, for Bourne. But 40% of that production not in the lineup today, with Cade Lewis and Braden Holcomb having to sit out. And Bourne has had to fill in the gaps accordingly and has failed to do so to this point. 3-2. Floats outside, ball 4. Stamell's let on 2 straight batters, just the second time in as many frames.
This is where it can all kind of start to crumble, not just for Stamell, but for Hyannis pitching in general. The second a batter gets over to first base, and especially second, it feels like said pitcher's command kind of starts to fall out of control a bit. And we saw Yasa deal with that very, very well. He walked 4, and the Braves put a lot on base. He was able to work around it, so Stamell trying to take a page out of that book.
First pitch to Sebastian Mexico. Flutters inside for strike 1. Mexico playing right and batting 5th, now with an opportunity for the Braves. And you mentioned that this is where it begins to unravel for Hyannis, runners along the base paths, that is. But also in this stretch of the game as well for the guys on the bump. Squares to bunt, taps it down the third base line. It's a good one. Stamell can't get to it in time, and the Braves have the tying run aboard with no one out.
Just crafty baseball. That's kind of what has killed the Hawks in this season. A beautiful bunt as well. Man, Sebastian Mexico just jabbed at it perfectly, put it straight into the dirt. And Jake Schaffner, the third baseman, was kind of in no man's land. Did not expect that. Mexico with a bunt out of nowhere.
Credit Mexico with the bunt single. That makes things interesting for Mark Quattrani. Hyannis had the worst bullpen ERA on Cape Cod this year, 4.93. It did rest over 5 for much of the season. Of course, that month of July really took Hyannis out of the swing of things, and the Hawks just snuck into the postseason. Swings at Stamell's first offering. Doby gets the out at the plate. LaChance tried to snap to first. Didn't even attempt the throw as Doby got the most critical out on that play.
Very big out there. Stamell went with the pitch outside, got a weak ground ball. And then McKay just a little bit late to covering first base, so no play for LaChance. I like the fake, though. Try to make Luke Costello or Sebastian Mexico think he was going to that bag and try to advance one more.
Quattrani grounding into the force will create a repeat situation for Jason Torres, who led off the third inning with a strikeout. Riker Waite got the action started for Bourne with the walk. Of course, he's in the hole as the number 9 man. And to get to Gavin Kelly, things would have to get bad for Max Stamell fast. Torres clocks the first pitch into right field. Devin Mitchell's right there. Let's check the tag over at third. It comes from Luke Costello. The throw is beautiful, and it gets the out at the plate. A snipe from Devin Mitchell. And that ends the frame as they double him off.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes has like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
A wild ending to the top of the fourth inning as sees Bourne load the bases twice and leave with no runs on the scoreboard as Hyannis keeps the 3-run cushion. Let's take a look at some regular season stats between these West Division rivals. At Bourne average plenty high, like over Hyannis. That's a #1 mark in the Cape Cod Baseball League, while Hyannis is in just 5th after a difficult month of July. And the ERA as well, showing up that Hyannis has been the better pitching unit over the first couple of innings. And there, we saw Max Stamell run into some trouble, but get out of it with the help of his defense.
Yeah, the pitching has kind of plagued Bourne, but Hyannis starting to find their pitching in the postseason. It's been really impressive, really clean baseball. And Stamell responded beautifully. The Braves haven't had the same ability to respond in the postseason. They've struggled when Hyannis bats have gotten on base, and as a result, Hyannis has really had many more opportunities.
And vibes have been high in the Harbor Hawk dugout because this part of the order has been so effective. 9-1-2 due up in the 4th. And Folger Boaz still in the game after all that damage, finds a first pitch strike. Boaz, rising sophomore out of North Carolina, native of Pilot Mountain, NC as well, coming to the Cape for a first summer after rising redshirt sophomore after 2 seasons with the Tar Heels. That 4-pitch mix, we've seen every ball that he's thrown, but not effectively tonight.
That's a good one there. Gets a foul tip on a breaking pitch, but you're right. It's kind of been all over the place. Command has been missing. He's got a lot of really good movement, has shown that off.
Schaffner flares the 1-2 foul.
But the pinpoint precision has not been there. Boaz has some really good accuracy. It's just been a little bit off, and that's what can happen in these playoff games.
He's ahead on a very good hitter in Jake Schaffner. But Boaz has been very hit or miss himself this season. He's allowed the most runs by a Braves pitcher this season. Looking for the low strikeout of Schaffner, and the lefty didn't budge. Bit of an appeal on the check swing. It's over to third, and Marvin Gomez, who didn't even move after home plate umpire Mike Hinojosa looked that way. 2-2 offering. Clapped right back up the mound. Riker Waite ranges to center and fires a first out.
Nice play from Riker Waite, especially after that error he committed just an inning ago. He was smartly cheating already over to the second base bag, knowing Jake Schaffner can and likes to go up the middle. That's a good response after that error.
It's also the third ball fired right back at Folger Boaz atop the bump. He's mishandled a couple of them, but made the out on the second. And Owen Prince comes in for a third time as Hyannis flips the order here in the 4th. To finish that thought on Boaz being so hit or miss on either side of the pitching spectrum this season, he's allowed the most runs by a Braves pitcher. As Prince taps this right down the third base line, it trickles all the way into foul territory. The speedster Prince headed for 2. He dives in safely, and it's an extra base hit for the leadoff man.
Well, that is what he has done all season long, just kind of playing defense, if nothing else. That pitch was kind of in on the hands, and he just put bat to ball, squeaked it past Ryan Cooney, the third baseman, and then used those legs to get around first base to second. That's probably the 3rd or 4th double that he's kind of created out of nothing. That, if it was anyone else on this Harbor Hawks team, likely wouldn't have been or would have been a big thought before rounding first, but he just did it without a second thought.
Such blistering speed for VMI this past spring. He's also shown it here in Hyannis, not getting all too many opportunities to steal bases, but stretching a couple of his hits into extra bases with the wheels that he's got. Now the hottest hitter in the order, Jace Doby, digs in. And plate vision such as that has been his friend in this game. A walk in the first, eventually scored the first run for Hyannis. Also picked up an RBI and a sac fly in the second. And he is swinging the hottest of bats right now.
Yeah, he really is, and it comes from that eye. He's already got 7 walks over the course of his time. And the bat has started to come alive with it. He went cold a little bit towards the end of the regular season, was on a 6-game hitless streak, but then got right back on his horse against Bourne yesterday. A 3-for-4 day. can't really ask for much more if you're Mitch Carricker. His response has been great.
Two and one. Doby rips it into left field, and he continues to stay hot. Prince gets the easy wave. The throw from Sefcik goes to second. Hyannis stretches the lead. It's 4-0 Hawks.
Well, this looks like a totally new baseball team with runners in scoring position. They are hitting it hard, and they are hitting often. No question there for Mitch Carricker to send Owen Prince. He was going to beat any throw that was made from Cal Sefcik. Man, the Hawks are rolling in the postseason.
Second straight plate appearance with an RBI for Jace Doby. His second time along the base paths here in the fourth. And now the second baseman, Ryan McKay, will look to bring him home. Tags the first pitch foul down the third base line. Doby, despite maybe not be, rather, it wasn't his best performance last night, as he went 4 for 4 in his first game against YD on the 15th, but it was certainly his most timely. And clutch hitting like that has made him irreplaceable in the lineup.
Yeah, I also think that his play at first base has been really, really impactful for the Harbor Hawks.
Skips into Mark Quattrani. Folger Boaz has got another run on his register. He's allowed the most runs by a Braves pitcher this season at 15 coming into the day. But on the flip side, he's tied with Matt Shorey, last night's starter, for the most Ks among Braves starters entering this game. 1-1. McKay taps it right by the mound. Riker Waite ranges over and fires out number 2.
Well, it was a picture-perfect double play ball, but Riker Waite kind of had to go too far, and Gavin Kelly couldn't cover. So another runner in scoring position. Kind of unfortunate for Boaz because he got exactly what he wanted in that weak ground ball up the middle. It's just the defense wasn't positioned correctly to try and turn 2.
Gabe Camacho swinging a powerful bat as the lead runner in Doby moves to second. He's already stretched the lead for the Harbor Hawks in this bottom of the fourth. Folger Boaz needs to find his stuff quick. This could be his last inning of work.
And he's got to lean on Mark Quattrani, which, by the way, a beautiful pick there out of the dirt from the catcher. But this is where the catcher-pitcher relationship really needs to come in handy, because this is when you either know to pump up your pitcher or settle him down.
Camacho cues it foul. Righty getting loose in the bullpen for Bourne, with a righty also throwing for Hyannis. Max Stamell's been money so far this game. The leash could be getting shorter as the Braves begin to find themselves on offense.
Yeah, question about how many times Mitch Carricker is going to let him go through this order. Right now, he's through turn 2, but 2 batters away from turn 3.
And for Gabe Camacho, he's still looking for the big hit, despite swinging the powerful bat. He has done what he's had to make an impact, but it just feels like he can take the step into being this team's spark plug at the cleanup spot.
And I think a day like today is exactly what Gabe Camacho could use. A day to DH, not have to worry about playing first base. That's why Jace Doby has been so important to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. He's a pitcher, but Doby plays really strong first base as well.
And he gets plunked here. Boaz throws inside, and it is a second runner on for Hyannis. Camacho's been plunked quite a bit in a Harbor Hawk jersey.
Yeah, that's his 9th hit by pitch over the course of the season. He did very similar things at UCSD, was hit by 24 baseballs. This dude's just a magnet. That was the 16th most hit batsman in the nation that Camacho acquired at UCSD.
That's the end of Scott Landers' leash for Folger Boaz. The starter, the day ending here for the lefty out of North Carolina. Scott Landers look to weather the storm after this.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the rental source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
When I started teaching on the Cape 30 years ago, you could buy a house on a teacher's salary. But today, teachers, public safety officers, healthcare and hospitality workers, the people who make the Cape work, are struggling to find homes they can afford. And I really worry about the kids who will follow us. I think it's time we learn to do better.
If housing on Cape Cod matters to you, join us at capehousingmatters.org.
The new hurler for Scott Landers will face Dayton LaChance for certainly a tall order, and it'll be Nate Wysong looking to fill it with 2 outs and a couple on in this 4th inning. Wysong, a typical starter for the Braves. He's made 8 appearances. All of the last 3 have been starts. In his 21 2/3 innings you see there, he's put up some pretty solid numbers for the Braves, and now he's got the very difficult task of potentially scratching what would have been a Game 3 start should Bourne come back to try and weather the storm here.
And he's got to weather the storm against a team that he's started twice against. 2 of the last 3 ball games, Bourne has put Wysong on the mound to start. And over those 2, he pitched for 8 innings, allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, walked 7, and struck out only 3. So not only has he seen his team a lot, but he hasn't really succeeded against this team a lot as of late. A very, very tall order.
Well, Dayton LaChance coming to the plate. Jace Dobie's RBI single stretched the Hyannis lead to 4. Gabe Camacho plunked as the last batter to face Folger Boaz, the starter, whose day went from bad to worse.
Yeah, Boaz really started to struggle there at the end, allowed the Prince double and Dobie single in the 4th, but the hit batsman hitting Camacho, that's really just kind of what will pull the plug for some managers, and that's exactly what Scott Landers thought, because real show there that he's totally lost control. Now, he hit a batter that's just naturally good at getting hit by pitches, as we said before the break, but still just a clear sign that he's kind of lost control. Boaz was having trouble consistently finding the zone all day.
And Boaz allowed the most runs by a Braves pitcher coming into the day. 4 more go on his register here in his lone postseason appearance in Game 2 of the West Division Series. He said Jace Dobie was the hottest bat in the order, but not against the Bourne Braves this season. It'd be Dayton LaChance who takes a first pitch strike on the initial offering from Wysong. Against Bourne this season, he's 9 of 15. 3 runs, 4 RBIs. 7 of his last 7 coming into the game here at McKeon Park against Bourne. 0-1. Finds the inside corner, and LaChance unhappy.
And the big question mark tonight for LaChance is how's he going to manage hitting against the Braves while also catching? We've talked a lot about how his numbers catching are not nearly the same as when he DHs, but he's already got a single tonight, so he's seeing it pretty well.
0-2. Swing and a miss, and Nate Wysong delivers a very tall ask from Scott Landers. Strands a pair and strikes out LaChance in the process. The 5th inning up next. Top of the 5th here at McKeon Park. Max Stamell has made quick work of the Braves, but in the last couple of innings, he's allowed some damage and quelled the storm himself.
Yeah, with some really good help from his defense. I mean, Jace Dobie and Devin Mitchell with a couple defensive gems back in the top of the 4th. Dobie cutting down Sefcik trying to come home, and then Mitchell with a phenomenal double play, a fly ball from Torres to right, and he guns down Luke Costello with ease. It wasn't even close. LaChance pretty much knocked Costello over because he had so much time to place that tag down. So as much as Stamell did a good job of pitching to contact and getting those weak hits late in that inning, he's also been helped tremendously by some really, really good Harbor Hawks defense.
And he got help from his defense that hasn't given it to him at that clip all year long. Hyannis has just one errorless game that Stamell has appeared in, and this is appearance number 7 of the summer for Stamell, start number 4, specifically against these Bourne Braves, his 4th appearance. And so that's huge for Stamell, already in a groove, now getting help from the guys behind him. It's 8-9-1 to start the 5th inning for Bourne, beginning with the center fielder, John LeGrande. Chops the first pitch he sees to Charlie Bates. Across the diamond, it was a tough throw. Doby stretched just late.
This is a grade A effort from Jace Doby and Charlie Bates. Really, really weak grounder. Bates going against the grain, and a full split from Doby. Just not quite there in time, but again, the defense given their A game for Max Stamell.
2 mainstays start this inning for Scott Landers and the Braves, and couldn't ask for anything else with the back against the wall in this West Division Series Game 2. First pitch to Waite. Floats over the zone, and Waite taps it into right field. LeGrande halts at second base, still hobbled from yesterday, but Riker Waite reaches for the 2nd time and has many at-bats.
And so now the question marks start coming, because those are pretty early swings and pretty good swings from the Bourne Braves against Max Stamell. You got to think, although Bourne had a lot of trouble hitting with runners in scoring position yesterday, eventually something's going to break through. So you got to make sure, if you're Mitch Carricker and the Harbor Hawks, that you give your pitching and your defense the best chance to go against that. And letting Stamell go through this order for a 3rd time might not be the best chance.
The Braves 0 for 9 yesterday with runners in scoring position. Gavin Kelly still searching for that first hit. Stamell gets a strike to start. Kelly with a single in the 3rd. That's just one of now 5 hits for Bourne. He was the lone hit of the first 3 frames against Stamell. That just shows how effective the lefty was. 0-1. Floats inside, and both runners stay at bay. Well, John LeGrande at second base. You need a bit of a hard hit to get him home. You could see him hobble into second. That's because in the first inning of yesterday's game, took a really hard fall in center field. Almost a 5-6 minute delay stopped that first inning. He just popped out of his crouch and kept on going. 1-1. Stamell looking for that low spot. He's found it all game, but not right there.
Yeah, that one just a little bit too low. Kelly did a good job not biting, and man, that injury is such a shame for LeGrande because he is such a speedy guy. 21 stolen bases in the regular season, the 2nd most in the Cape League.
Stamell's picked up steam of late. He was effective as a reliever in his first 5 appearances, but has surged as a starter and solidified himself as the number 2 guy for Mitch Carricker. 4+ Ks in each of his last 2 outings coming into the game. Hitters count to Gavin Kelly. It's inside of Dayton LaChance, and the bags are juiced for the Braves.
Bit of danger zone. Max Stamell clearly losing command a little bit.
From Oregon, number 11, Ryan.
And out comes Mitch Carricker. It makes sense for the leash to be long to Max Stamell, but this is a situation Mitch Carricker does not want to find himself in. Tying run coming to the plate. Could be the end of the day for Max Stamell.
And it would be a phenomenal start, even though he's got 3 on the bases, and those would still be on his record. Giving those first 4 scoreless innings, just like Carson Yassa did yesterday, has put Hyannis in a very, very strong position. It looks like he's talked his way into staying on the mound.
And he has earned that. I reiterate, in Stamell's last 9 innings, he's got 9 strikeouts, just 1 run allowed coming into this postseason. He's utterly solidified himself as the number 2 starter for Mitch Carricker. 5 strikeouts against Harwich through the 4 innings he pitched. He's already matched that total through 3 frames in this game. Now stretching here into the 5th, but it's a golden situation for Ryan Cooney. Lays off the first pitch from Stamell. Right-hander Liam Kineen going in the dugout for Hyannis. Stamell walking on eggshells here with the bags juiced. Cooney's got the power to leave the yard, or so we bring home all three of these guys. He hit 6 home runs at Oregon in 2024. Didn't get nearly enough opportunities to do so, as he matched that total in 57 games as opposed to 47 in 2024. Cooney taps this right back to Stamell. Dream scenario. LaChance headed for 2. He throws it away and into foul territory. Here comes 1 run for the Braves. A third gets the stop sign as Kelly chugs into third base. And a blunder from Dayton LaChance does give the Braves a first run.
Well, LaChance, frankly, not helped out by a bit of a slow throw from Stamell. He had to gun one over to first base, and he knew immediately what a big mistake that was. He put his hands on his head. Mitchell, with a bit of a stumble, allows the first to come across for the Braves. Those are the kinds of errors, the mistakes that Hyannis has made and that Hyannis did make in the regular season that cost them a lot of ball games. Now, it's only 1 run, but how is the defense, how is Max Stamell going to respond after he thought he got a huge double play?
First pitch to Cal Sefcik, right at the top of the zone. It locates for a strike. So it brings Gavin Kelly to third on the error from Dayton LaChance. Ryan Cooney reaches on the fielder's choice as LaChance does stop 2 runs from coming in with the unassisted tap of the plate to get John LaGrande out. But Riker Waite comes home. Floats a breaking ball up and away. Stamell, that's just the second run in the last 14 innings of work, stretching 3 appearances with that register of work. Corner infielders all the way back to the outfield. Now they come in, and Sefcik takes a strike. Still 11 strikeouts against Bourne coming into the day, the most for any Hyannis pitcher against a single opponent this year. But Hyannis looking to level the record when Stamell starts against Bourne. And now he can't find his spot, seems a bit rattled. Stamell's 3-pitch mix working so well for him as he faced the minimum through 8 batters. 1 above through 10. 2-2. Sefcik hammers it into center field. Owen Prince ranges just shy of the track and gloves a second out. Here comes Gavin Kelly, and the Braves have cut the lead in half.
Sometimes all you got to do is play a little small ball. And Sefcik got a lot of this. Sent it into center field. Pretty foggy today, also pretty chilly, so that baseball had potential to go further. But no dice for Sefcik. Just got enough of it to bring home that runner.
Looks like Stamell will still work through the jam he's put himself in. It's the 3rd time in this game that Bourne has loaded the bases, rather just a 2nd. First pitch upcoming to Luke Costello. 1 runner remains from that bases loaded jam Max Stamell found himself in. Unable to work out of it, not with the help of his defense. Now, it still remains that just 1 errorless appearance from the Hyannis defense when Max Stamell's been in. A season marred by free passes for Hyannis. Healthy cut from Costello, and he is unhappy with it.
That's a big pitch as well, the high fastball. Just trying to find anything in or around the zone. Frankly, a bit of a help from Costello swinging at that pitch.
Stamell looking to get it back to his red-hot bats without any further damage. 1-1 drifts inside. Costello reached on a walk his last time to the plate. Only playing in his 3rd game as a Bourne Brave, rising sophomore of Wake Forest. Demon Deacons all across Bourne's roster. Rips the 2-1 into left field. It's down for a fair ball. It'll get all the way to the corner. Cooney comes from second and scores with ease as Costello with a stand-up 2 RBI double.
Well, the Hawks were going to have a really tough time holding the best Cape League offense at bay. And Stamell just leaving that one right over the heart of the plate. Didn't have enough juice on it. And Jeff Lugie had a really long run to go get that baseball. And all of a sudden as well, the Braves finding it with runners in scoring position.
That'll end what was a hot start for Max Stamell, unraveled right before his eyes. And just like that, the Braves are back into game 2. We'll meet the new pitcher after this.
Owning a home means you can protect your family and put down roots in a community you care about. It gives you a place to celebrate the joys of daily living and be together during tough times. But for many on Cape Cod, home ownership is slipping further out of reach. Help make sure the American dream is available to the teachers, public safety professionals, and all the other people who make the Cape a special place. Visit capehousingmatters.org to find out more.
A new pitcher is a righty out of Princeton. Taking over for Max Stamell, it's Liam Kineen, a relatively new arrival for Mitch Carricker, joining the Harbor Hawks on the last day of July. Oddly enough, against these Braves, got in the very next day at Harwich and allowed a couple of runs to the Mariners, relieving Max Stamell as he is now, but then delivered a scoreless outing on the 3rd against Wareham. So he's pitched a lot in a short amount of time, and now he comes into a very big spot.
He does, and I think that relief appearance against Wareham is going to bring him in with a lot more confidence than he otherwise could be coming in with, because at the CCBL with the North Shore Navigators, he was primarily a starter in this 2025 Summer League season. He had 7 appearances, 6 of them starts, 3.86 ERA, and so this is a bit new territory for him. I mean, he did make a lot of relief appearances in 2024 with the Brockton Rocks of the Futures Collegiate League, but that was a while ago. This is a new Liam Kineen, and he's got to refine that jazz that he had with relief appearances.
Kineen only walked 16 of the 137 batters he faced with the Navigators earlier this summer. Good for a 4.7 walks per 9. Still a man on second in Luke Costello. It's the right fielder Sebastian Mexico in a brand new ball game here in the 5th. And Kineen's first ball right down Broadway. Stamell's line still unfinalized as he allowed that double to Costello to cut the lead to 1 for the Harbor Hawks. Still swinging hot bats, and now it's up to Kineen to get it back to him. Ripped through the gap, and that'll get into left field. Here comes Costello, and he gets the stop sign after taking the wide turn. Scott Landers wisely holds him up as Jeff Luigi was ready to pounce.
Kind of a dangerous stop at the last second. He was coming hard around 3rd and really had to stop his momentum, planted hard on those ankles, and thankfully is all right. But for a second there, it looked like he kind of took a stumble. And that's a hard matchup for Liam Kineen to begin this outing, because Sebastian Mexico also coming from the NECBL, so those guys saw each other quite a bit already in this summer.
Bourne finally figured itself out against a guy he knows all too well in Max Stamell, making his 4th appearance against the Braves. It was lights out through 4 innings, and here in the 5th, the Braves have gotten themselves back into the game. First ball to Mark Quattrani. A ball outside from Liam Kineen. It's a 3-pitch mix for the righty out of, or 4-pitch mix rather, for the righty out of Princeton. A fastball coupled with a curveball, a changeup, and a slider. Is 1-0. Launched foul and out of play. Quattrani, the catcher, taking the spot normally of Gavin Kelly, who moves over to second tonight. He's already scored a run in this inning. Playing with his 2nd Cape League team this summer. Started the year at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, played 10 games for the Commodores, then moves mid-season to the Braves, where he's played in 11 games and has nearly identical numbers. 1-1. Right over the heart from Liam Kineen, and he's a strike away from escaping the hole that Max Stamell's put Hyannis in.
And Quattrani actually saw Hyannis with the Commodores early on in the Cape League season. He has not seen Canine. Canine coming very late, and Quattrani didn't play in the late ball games against Hyannis with these Bourne Braves.
1-2. Skips into LaChance. Off goes the runner at first. Mexico will slide in with no attempt at a throwdown from LaChance.
Good choice from LaChance, just holding on to that baseball with the tying run 90 feet away. Costello was ready to pounce and come home, but the catcher held on to the baseball. A little pump fake.
First swiped bag for either side in this game. Quattrani's got a pair in scoring position, back against the wall with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Canine fires a strikeout. Swing and a miss from Quattrani, and that ends the damage there, but Bourne has cut into the lead. It's a brand new ball game headed bottom 5.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool. They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes has like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Well, Nate Wysong will pitch with a brand new ball game headed into the bottom of the 5th. His Braves scraped across 3 runs against Max Stamell in the top half of the inning. And now the righty out of Wake Forest, clearly the stretch guy for Scott Landers.
Yeah, and he's going to need to put together a pretty good stretch because Hyannis bats have been hitting consistently and hitting well. He's coming in, or he did come in for Folger Boaz, who was really struggling. So a good time there. The top of the 4th, a couple guys on to bring in this really, really good pitcher. But big thing to note, Wysong starts a lot. Normally a starter for the Braves. This one of few relief appearances that he's had as of late. And it's a much different mindset. Even though he might be going for a similar number of innings, the mindset coming in down 4-0 is a big change. Fortunately for him, that 4-0 deficit cut large to 4-3.
And now he'll get a bit of a reset to a mindset he's more used to, making his 9th appearance of the year. He's got 3 starts for the Braves. Should Bourne complete this comeback, Wysong would have been among the leading candidates to go tomorrow at Doran Park in a potential Game 3. Instead, he comes into a high-leverage situation in the 4th inning with a run already scoring against Folger Boaz, and weathers the storm with a strikeout of Dayton LaChance. Batting well over 300 against the Braves, LaChance struck out to end the 4th. Jeff Luigi begins the 5th. And Wysong jumps ahead.
And here's a guy that Mitch Carricker would really love to get going early in this inning. He has really struggled as of late. Only one hit over his last 10 plate appearances coming into this game, and that has now turned into 1 for his last 12.
And Luigi can kickstart momentum for Hyannis. The Harbor Hawks had it through the early goings against Folger Boaz. You can finalize his line at 3 2/3, 4 runs allowed. And now it feels like momentum has not only changed hands, it's that Bourne is going to need to take that to force a Game 3.
They absolutely will, and fortunately for Bourne, Hyannis largely has struggled this season at McKeon Park in every category, at least compared to what they've done on the road.
That comes after a 2024 Hyannis West Division champions. They were money here at McKeon Park. 16-3, good for a league best home record. But now you look to this season and just a .258 average here at McKeon Park. And Luigi strikes out to begin the 5th. Strikeouts have plagued Luigi across this last stretch. Now 5th straight game with a K.
That's a big pitch. Although Luigi's struggling, he is, like you said, a big threat, and a Cape League All-Star, just kind of out of rhythm right now.
Luigi, top 5 on the team with 23 hits, 288 average as well among the upper ranks of Harbor Hawks. But 20 strikeouts coming into the day. And the first pitch to Charlie Bates from Wysong, tails outside. Bates knows a thing or two about struggling at the plate. Went 1 for 20 from late June into mid-July. Turned it around on July 6th against Brewster, then delivered what is arguably his best performance of the season on July 8th against Bourne. 3 for 4, 2 runs along with an RBI and 2 walks. 1-1. Dips low, and Bates, with his vision at the plate, already working to his favor in this series. Worked a walk in the third, and that's what's really turned it around for him this year.
Yeah, his eye has been much stronger, but his eye kind of failed him a little bit at the end of July even.
He rips this to third. It gets by Cooney, who was on a knee, and Bates picks up a single.
Put bat on ball, good things can happen. Just a line drive, and it took a high skip off that dirt. And even though it may not go down as a hit, that's going to be pretty big for Charlie Bates, because he was 1 for 32 to end the month of July going into August. It was a really tough end of the regular season for him. Now he's starting to find that bat a bit.
Oddly enough, a tougher stretch of play than that 1 for 20 stretch we continue to bring up at times this season. But during that 1 for 32 stretch, not like he wasn't effective, as you see there. And Devin Mitchell, a guy that played a ton to begin his Cape League tenure when he was activated on July 11th. Headed to NC State from Florence Darlington Tech in South Carolina. He plays in those 7 straight games. Then he only plays in 2 games in 7 days. And here he levels the count against Nate Wysong. But recently, with the release of Sawyer Black following an injury, Mitchell's been the everyday right fielder.
Yeah, he's had to step up, and step up big. He had a pretty bad start, frankly, to his tenure over in right field with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Made a big mistake, just kind of throwing a ball haywire after a big swing. But he's cooled it down. He's played some really good defense and made a great throw back in the top of the 4th.
Mitchell's also got himself a double with a run scored in the 2nd inning. One of his better swings of the season. Maybe the only one that tops it is the swing he took in his first at-bat here on Cape Cod. A home run after pinch hitting for Jason Walk in the 6th inning of a game against the Orleans Firebirds here at McKeon Park. And Mitchell fights off a 1-2 breaking ball from Nate Wysong. Hyannis with the lead in this West Division series, but Bourne trying to come right back and take it from the Harbor Hawks and force a Game 3 tomorrow at Doran Park. 1-2. Floats inside, and Mitchell's rung up. Second K of the 5th inning for Nate Wysong, who feels so good right now.
Yeah, he looks so comfortable. A great curveball pinpointed at the knees. Sends Devin Mitchell early. No argument there from the righty. He knew exactly where that ball ended up. And man, Wysong really stepping into a good role here. This is promising for Scott Landers and the Braves that he can do this. He can make a big appearance in relief that kind of is treated like a start.
Jake Schaffner steps in with momentum, now wearing a Bourne Braves jersey. Hyannis struck for 3 runs in the first 2 frames. Bourne gets it all, and then another in the 4th against Folger Boaz, the starter for Bourne. The Braves get 3 of those runs back in the top half of the 5th. And Wysong looking over for Bates, just back in time.
It was close. Bates was kind of hanging over there at first base, but slid in and just got that right hand on the bag.
Schaffner 0 for 1 with a walk in the 2nd inning. He also stole a base. He chops this high to second, and Gavin Kelly puts an end to the frame. 1 above the minimum for Nate Wysong in the 5th. Bourne's got all the momentum headed to the 6th inning.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Hey Harbor Hawks fans, did you know that the NAC Cape Cod is the official Light Up the Park sponsor of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks all season long? Thanks to the NAC, the lights in McKeon Park stay bright all summer as the future stars take the field. With 2 convenient locations in Orleans and in Hyannis, the NAC is the perfect spot for a burger, taco, sandwich, and much more. Visit thenaccapecod.com to learn more or order online. In the top of the 6th at McKeon Park, Liam Canine takes the ball from Max Stamell in the bottom of the 5th and escapes some damage. Not before Bourne took 3 runs back from the Harbor Hawks, who surged ahead to that 4-0 lead. And now, with the good end to that inning from Liam Canine, he's got momentum on his side.
Yeah, striking out Mark Quattrani was really, really big back in the 5th, but he did allow that single to Sebastian Mexico to begin his appearance in relief of Max Stamell. So how does he carry on? Because clearly Mexico saw something early on, and he probably went back to that dugout and relayed information. But, man, it was a great strikeout from Canine of getting Quattrani.
7, 8, and 9 due up here in the top of the 6th for the Braves, who scraped across 3 in the 5th. And Jason Torres takes the first pitch ball from Liam Canine. Forced pitch mix for the rising sophomore out of Princeton. Righty's fastball's been sitting 90 to 92 with a max speed of 94 miles per hour. Torres chops this high to third, nearly gets into Schaffner, but it spills into left. And Torres keeps the barrage going against the Harbor Hawks.
Schaffner gave it a great attempt, went charging in as you're supposed to. It just took a hop under his glove. Kind of skipped on the dirt instead of spinning and catching and flying high. It was a really good effort. It would have been a tough play regardless for Jake Schaffner. And the Braves, for a 3rd straight inning, have their leadoff guy aboard.
That leadoff success has translated on the scoreboard. While Bourne scored no runs in the 4th, those 3 come in the 5th. And now the Braves feeling themselves here in the 6th. John LaGrande to the plate for a 3rd time in this game after his single led off the 5th inning. Liam Canine with a half-hearted spin at first base. Canine taking the spot of Max Stamell, whose line finalized now after a really valiant effort for 4 2/3. That allows 6 hits and 3 runs, but strikes out 5. And Canine looking to further the flashes of brilliance Stamell showed.
Yeah, I mean, Canine, he's got to. He's got no other option. I mean, this is playoff baseball, and he came in, looked really sharp back in the top of the 5th. You just got to carry it through.
1-0 offering. Taken into center field. LaGrande nearly dunks it in the alley, but Owen Prince dives to make the throw. They'll go back to, or maybe not. LaGrande's on first base, and Prince is convinced he caught it. What's going on here?
The umpire said no dice. Sam Finn at first said that ball hit the ground. Owen Prince is kind of in disbelief. It was a beautiful try regardless of the outcome, and so hard to tell. But man, he made a great effort, Owen Prince did, and Torres just kind of got caught in no man's land.
Mitch Carricker is furious, and Owen Prince still convinced he caught the ball. He just saw on that replay, didn't really show itself, but of course he did turn his body over and shielded the ball in his glove. And LaGrande is going to stay on first base, so it's a single with a man on for the 8-hole. We take another look here at Owen Prince.
Yeah, it looked there like he got a little bit of black leather underneath the baseball, between the baseball and the ground, but it was so bang bang. It's so hard to tell. Just kind of a tough break for Owen Prince and the Harbor Hawks.
Now Caneen with his back against the wall. He worked out of it in his first frame of work. A difficult hitter to do it against in Riker Waite, the lefty. Squares to bunt, pulls away. Legrande, a speedster along first base. Jason Torres with sporadic play time for the Braves, on for a first time in scoring position. And Waite has reached in each of his 2 trips to the plate. 1-0, another square. This one locates for a strike. Waite, a rising sophomore out of Vanderbilt, has been here on Cape Cod since day one for Scott Landers, having played in 4 of the 5 regular season matchups between the teams. Another show of a bunt, and now that won't even be a possibility.
Nice pitch from Caneen. Sometimes when those guys go to square bunt, it can kind of get into the heads of pitchers. It splits the zone in half and can make it look a bit smaller, but he went right back to the heart of it, and a really, really good pitch.
Waite moving down in the order after batting cleanup yesterday. And Caneen squares the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hyannis in the driver's seat for much of this game. Bourne has battled back, but Caneen can give an energy right back to his dugout with a big couple of pitches here. 2-2. Tails outside to run the count full. And this is what Riker Waite does exceptionally well.
Yeah, he really can just buy time at the dish, make pitchers throw their best, and Caneen has been throwing some really, really good pitches, trying to get a little bit of swing and miss stuff from Riker Waite because he's got power too. He's a hard guy to pitch to.
Riker Waite with 15 walks this season. And he has another one here, his second of the game. Have loaded the bases in consecutive frames for Bourne.
Well, the Braves weren't able to take full advantage of the bases loaded in the last inning because Liam Caneen came in and took care of business. So the right-hander, he's got to go right back to that magic that he had in the top of the 5th.
Back-to-back innings for the Harbor Hawks with 2 singles and a walk to load the bases. And now Mitch Carricker will make the point to the bullpen. A righty's going to come in the place of Liam Caneen. We'll meet the new pitcher coming into a big spot in the 6th after this.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Well, taking the ball from Liam Caneen is Andrew Wirtz, another relative newcomer coming in to a 3rd game this season. A senior headed to Northeastern from Salve Regina, playing after, oddly enough, in the same 2 games that Caneen got into after being activated on July 31st, along with Caneen. He pitched an inning at Harwich on August 1st, then comes in 2 days later and delivers a 2nd straight scoreless outing with 3 hits, 2 walks, but also 2 strikeouts. And Mitch Carricker, none afraid to go to his guys that don't have as much experience as some of the others in the bullpen in another huge spot.
And I mean, Wirtz was a guy that did fantastic at with the Valley Blue Sox, then NECBL as well this summer. Had a sub-1 ERA with them, so although he's new, he's proved his stuff. And he's proved his stuff in his 2 appearances with the Harbor Hawks this season as well. I mean, is not allowed to run, Only 3 hits, but he worked around it. I mean, over 1 2/3 to allow 3 hits, 2 walks, and no runs means that not only did you pitch well, but you pitched well around big spots, and that's exactly what he's coming into right now. So Mitch Carricker knowing exactly the guy that he wants in a big spot, and that is Andrew Wirtz.
Wirtz has pitched in a lot of high leverage situations in his time with Salve Regina. He'll be taking that to a crowded pitching staff at Northeastern that delivered an unbelievable season as CAA champions, going all the way to the NCAA tournament. And another righty to follow up the lefty in Max Stamell, and then Liam Kineen taking the ball from him. He loaded the bases in the top of the 6th, so he's responsible for all 3 guys, as Bourne flips the order for a 4th time in this game in search of a first lead of the series. And Gavin Kelly's reached in each of his last 2 trips to the dish. A single in the 3rd, a walk in the 5th. Wirtz's first ball finds the inner corner. 3 breaking balls out of a 4-pitch mix for Andrew Wirtz. Pretty wide range on that fastball, 92 to 95 with a max of 97, but also has a slider, curveball, and cutter to tunnel it with. 0-1 delivery. Chopped down the third base line, it tails foul as Jake Schaffner gives chase.
That cutter, a really good pitch for Wirtz. He's also got a slider. The cutter, basically the same pitch that just comes in a little bit faster. So that pitch specifically, he can really tunnel because it is nearly the exact same. The big difference is just the speed. He can put it in similar spots, and definitely to these right-handers take advantage of some right-to-left movement.
It was one of 14 different pitchers to get in here at McKeon Park on the final day of the regular season. They did an excellent job weathering the storm after Wareham struck early. And now home plate umpire Mike Hinojosa leaves his post and approaches the mound. High leverage spot for the righty Andrew Wirtz with Ryan Cooney waiting on deck and Cal Sefcik in the hole. The righty Gavin Kelly at the plate. 0-2. Chopped down the third base line. It's another foul ball. By just a hair, the runs stay off the board for the moment.
Yeah, Schaffner, as the entire infield is, playing pretty close to go home if the opportunity presents itself. If he were a little bit back on the dirt, that would have been a very easy play, but because he was forward, it would have made it a lot harder to get to that ball if it were fair.
The corner infielders playing in. Each of Doby and Schaffner's feet on the infield grass. The guys up the middle ranging back towards shallow center. 0-2. Flared the other way. Devin Mitchell towards the line. Grabs the out. Torres started to tag and then skips back. Shallow enough to not test Devin Mitchell, who's already hosed somebody out.
That's exactly right. Jason Torres knew this time not to test Devin Mitchell, and it was another pinpoint throw. Mitchell plays it off a hop exactly like they're taught. A little bit tough still for LaChance, but he did a good job blocking it. And Torres, really no thought from him to try and tag. He didn't even budge off the bag when that ball was caught.
Now Ryan Cooney, who reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th and scored the 3rd run, coming up to the plate for a 4th time rather. And he launches the first pitch he sees, again shallow. Owen Prince coming in, and that'll keep Torres at bay. 2 pitches, 2 outs for Andrew Wirtz.
And 2 perfect pitches from Andrew Wirtz. Getting those kinds of outs, that is huge. Usually those are the ones that will lead to runs, but they've been weak enough to where the outfielders can really threaten, and it's a little uncomfortable to send Jason Torres. Torres has got pretty good speed, but not good enough speed to beat out the big arms of Devin Mitchell and Owen Prince.
This is the 3rd time already that Bourne has loaded the bases, and they've only taken advantage in the 5th. Chance to do just that for Cal Sefcik. And Wirtz fires one high. Just because he pitched at Salve Regina, maybe not synonymous with the heavy competition of the Cape Cod Baseball League, doesn't mean he didn't get into high leverage situations. did have 1 save in 11 games. Sefcik launches this into center field. Owen Prince will put a stop to it for Andrew Wirtz. He cleans up Liam Kineen's mess and keeps this a 1-run lead for the Harbor Hawks. Look to extend it in the bottom of the 6th.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
The Braves loaded the bases again in the top of the 6th, but Andrew Wirtz weathered the storm, keeps it a 1-run game, and Nate Wysong will look to stay hot for the Braves. Since taking over from Folger Boas, he's retired 4 of the 5 batters he's faced and has picked up 3 strikeouts in the process.
Yeah, Wysong, he's looked really, really strong, but still, Charlie Bates found a way to get on base. He pulled one really, really hard at Ryan Cooney, went down as an error, which Bates maybe not too happy about it because it was a hard hit ball. It just kind of took a skip off the dirt. So he found a way to get on base. He saw that pitch that he hit really, really well from Nate Wysong. Now flipping the order for the first time against Wysong. The question is, can the top of the order that's had a lot of success in this ball game follow suit?
Top 3 batters coming up for Hyannis, and this is the part of the order that is just the group to rectify the difficult stretch of play against Nate Wysong.
Yeah, Owen Prince, a single and a double with a stolen base. He's been phenomenal. Doby's gotten on twice. McKay started this ball game with a single. Camacho as well has gotten on twice. These 4 have been phenomenal.
Owen Prince finding his groove in game 2. Wysong fires a first pitch strike with a fastball. Prince came into the game having made his debut on July 16th at Bourne in a Hyannis loss. 2 other appearances mixed in with that. He went 1 for 11 across those 3 games. Shows bunt and picks up a strike.
Wysong went right back to that same pitch on the outside of the zone, and Prince couldn't really get his body far enough across the plate to get bat on ball because he was trying to start up the first base line.
He's got such speed that you wouldn't be surprised to see him lay one down. He chops this to third base. Cooney ranges to short and fires out number 1. Prince does have a stolen base in this game, but it's only his 5th of the season after 30 swiped bags in the NECBL before coming to Hyannis. And now the hottest bat in the order in Jace Doby. A walk in the first, scored a run. RBI in the second off a sac fly. Another RBI off a single in the 4th. Member of the Nevada Wolfpack. Takes the first pitch strike from Nate Wysong. Comes off his arguably most timely performance of the summer last night, although not his best, as he started his Cape League career 4 for 4 on July 15th. Doby seemed to see the ball better than any Hyannis player had over the last 3 games.
Yeah, he really did, and I mean, if 3 for 4 with a double isn't your best, then you are a darn good hitter, which he is.
No better way to reverse a slump for a team headed into the postseason. That's what we said all along, that if the Harbor Hawks, despite a difficult month of July, could sneak into the postseason and play a Braves team it's fared well against this year, that anything could happen.
Yeah, I mean, Hyannis built so much momentum against the Braves at the end of the regular season, the walk-off win, and then the shutout.
1-2 flare down the first base line and out of play. Doby's been a hitter for average at every level he's played at, and the fact that he is doing what he's doing right now bodes well in the postseason for the Harbor Hawks. Hitless in his last 3 games entering the playoffs. And since, Doby with the 3 yesterday couples the 1 from today and becomes the spark plug at the top of the order. batted over 300 in each of his last 3 seasons of play. At college ball, and he taps this to short. Riker Waite calls off Ryan Cooney, skips the throw to first, and Doby's in easily. 3 trips to the plate, 4 trips to the plate, and 4 times reaching.
And we forgot to mention Doby's got pretty good speed as well. He well legs out that ball from Riker Waite. It was a really tough play for the shortstop going against the grain, but still, Doby put it in a great spot, used his legs, beat out the throw.
Only stole 3 bases at Nevada. He's yet to steal here on the Cape, but make no mistake, he can run when called upon. Stoppage of play for home plate umpire Mike Hinojosa. Ryan McKay stepping in, and this a very welcome sight for Mitch Carricker as he looks to lengthen this lead. It was at 1.40. Bourne stormed back, and a couple of clutch pitches from Andrew Wirtz have quelled the momentum for the Braves. McKay showed bunt momentarily, and that's a play that Mitch Carricker will take out here to just try and get something across.
Yeah, he's done it a lot, starting with extra innings. We've seen him do it a lot, but even as of late in regulation, we've seen a lot of bunt attempts, especially in August.
Dodges out of the way of that heater from Nate Wysong. McKay regained his production coming into the postseason at the exact right time. In his past 6 games before the playoffs, 8 of 18, a .444 average with 6 walks. A couple of those 8 hits, extra bases. Mashes the 2-0 right up the middle. It pierces in for a base hit. Doby will hold at second base, so it's station to station, and now a couple aboard for Gabe Camacho.
Very welcome sign for Ryan McKay. He's already had a single in this ball game, but he's been struggling as of late, so to get a multi-hit performance has got to feel really, really good for him. He found momentum kind of right at the end of July, but went 0 for 4 against Wareham in the last game of the regular season, 0 for 5 yesterday. This kind of performance could be exactly what he needs to get back to the form we saw him in back in July.
Only the second full frame of work for the righty Nate Wysong since relieving the starter Folger Boas after 3 2/3. All 3 runners to reach against him have singled, with Charlie Bates back in the 5th. Wysong, typically a starter for Scott Landers and Bourne, will likely get that sort of leash in this spot, trying to keep this a 1-run game, but the damage becomes too great. He could get pulled immediately.
Yeah, and it would be a tough thing for Scott Landers to do because Wysong has the ability to go for a while, but you're exactly right. I mean, if Hyannis keeps taking it to the Braves like they are right now, it could be quick work.
Gabe Camacho swinging a powerful bat as well as a hot one coming into the game. Hits in 3 of his last 4 coming into the postseason. In search of a second in this game. Single in the first, hit by pitch in the 4th. Rising junior out of UC San Diego. Wysong's 1-0. Ripped to short. Waite goes to second for 1. Over to first. Kelly turns the double play. Nate Wysong with a little help from his defense to keep it a 1-run game despite a pair of singles. Graham Nash will take you home for the final 3 innings.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Top of the 7th inning, a 4-3 ball game in favor of Hyannis. These teams locked into a big fight right now, exchanging blows back and forth as Andrew Wirtz is going to settle in to his second inning of work. He came in probably the biggest spot of the ball game so far for a Hyannis pitcher, and man, he shut it down 1, 2, 3.
How about 3 flyouts, and one of them fairly deep, but that respect Devin Mitchell's arm, who he gunned out a runner earlier in the day. That allowed the runner to stay at third base, and that shows how much these teams understand the defensive alignment of the Harbor Hawks. But yeah, Andrew Wirtz, the incoming Northeastern Husky, go Huskies. He looked stellar.
He's going to face Luke Costello, Sebastian Mexico, and Mark Quattrani in this inning. These three have kind of been up and down. It was a slow start for all of them, but as of late, starting to find a bit of a groove. Costello 1 for 2 on the day with a double and a walk. Mexico 2 for 3 with 2 singles. And then Quattrani 0 for 3, but he reached first on a fielder's choice. Quattrani really the one of the 3 grouping that's trying to find his way over to first base via a hit. Costello only playing in his 3rd ball game of the Cape League season with the Bourne Braves. He's working a 2-game on base streak. Helped out by an 0 for 2 performance yesterday where he drew a walk and also got hit by a pitch. As he flies one foul down the first base line. What he's really looking for is a bit more of his bat. This is his 2nd stop of the summer. Played with Amsterdam earlier on in the NECBL and had a .351 batting average, so he can hit. The question is, how quickly can it show up for him?
And it's going to be tough if he falls behind Andrew Wirtz. You got to give credit where it's due for jumping ahead so early.
And he goes down on strikes. 1, 2, 3. Quick work for Andrew Wirtz.
Well, look at him go to the fastball. That's pinpoint accuracy, ladies and gentlemen, right where Dayton LaChance wanted it. He's got these hitters on a string.
7th strikeout of the ball game for Hyannis pitching. The Hawks struck out 12 yesterday. Feels like when all else fails, Hyannis can still lean on those strikeouts to be a pretty high number.
It's been the calling card of the team all season, and especially earlier on, June to July. A little bit less as of late, but they've really dialed it up come the postseason. 12 yesterday.
In the regular season, the Hawks struck out the most batters in the Cape League at 381. They had 20 more strikeouts than Orleans. Sebastian Mexico flies one foul. Mexico, a guy that's really trying to pump a little bit of juice into this Bourne Braves team. He, as well, is only playing in a single-digit game. This is his 6th of the season. Sword of a swing. The count runs even.
Well, he had him guessing right there. Went with the fastball, and he was expecting the off-speed because he was so early. And by the time he realized, he had already stopped his swing but went around.
Mexico was an NECBL All-Star with the Valley Blue Sox this season. Nails one to center field. Owen Prince a couple steps. 2 out in the inning.
And one of the reasons why Andrew Wirtz has been so dominant is because he tries never to let it go to that 3-strike count. When he does, he's able to recover pretty easily. And for Hyannis pitching staff that we've talked a lot this summer, 2nd to Bourne for most walks in the Cape League during the regular season, it's so big for them to make these adjustments and come postseason, employ them.
Wirtz is going to face Mark Quattrani. He's also done a really good job in this appearance of getting ahead in counts. We haven't seen Wirtz down too often to these hitters. Case in point. Quattrani 0 for 3 with a strikeout, that coming most recently in the 5th inning. Ripped on the third base line, but foul. Quattrani did not play in Game 1 of this best-of-3 series, but he's working a 4-game on-base streak. Kind of started to find a bit of momentum with the Bourne Braves towards the end of the regular season. Quattrani, he did play with Falmouth in 2025 to begin his Cape League season. Played against these Hyannis Harbor Hawks, but this only the second time he's played against Hyannis with the Bourne Braves. Wirtz rings him up to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down with bookend Ks, and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks hold on to a 1-run lead.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-3 Hyannis lead as we take you around the league. Brewster took down Harwich to stay alive. Katuitt beat Wareham in 11, a walk-off home run from Landon Beaver. And then the YD Red Sox took down Orleans 9-2. The Orleans Firebirds, that's a tough result for them after being top of the East. They're now out of the playoffs. Things getting awfully dicey already.
2 in barbecue, and it shows how quickly things can change in the Cape League playoffs. And especially, it's not as quick as before. Of course, this is the first year there's been series. Used to be kind of the 1-game bid, so all or nothing, all the dice in one area.
Hyannis trying to serve a 2 in barbecue to the Bourne Braves. Dayton LaChance is going to lead off this inning against Nate Wysong. Wysong tested for the first time in this appearance back in the bottom of the 6th, but he got out of it with a really nice pitch to Gabe Camacho, a strong pitch to Gabe Camacho that grounded into a double play. Camacho, a guy you got to throw your best stuff against. Same is true for Dayton LaChance. LaChance 1 for 3 in this ball game. He reached first twice, however, once via the single, and then the other an error from Riker Waite, the shortstop. Big shift on the infield of his first pitch swinging, pulled down the third base line. The infield well prepared for a Dayton LaChance pull.
And one of his knocks today was on a breaking ball. He's been a guy who's kind of been slower, at least in terms of how well he's hitting off speed pitches. Of course, having so much success against Bourne, they're kind of figuring out the scouting report, trying to stay away with him with the soft stuff.
Coming into this ball game, LaChance 8 for his last 21 with 2 multi-hit performances. That including a 3 for 4 ball game at home against these Braves on July 31st. Another big swing. That time LaChance is late. LaChance really found his groove at the end of July. Foul ball, he stays alive. He's carried that right into August. Right now in the month of August, he's batting .308 with a double, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Also a walk and 4 runs of his own. Wysong sends LaChance back empty.
Well, this is a heater up and away, and he just blows it by him. He read the swing on the pitch before, And kind of the announcer jinx right there, talking about how he's a fastball hitter. That time, Wysong just powers him away.
4th K of the appearance for Nate Wysong. He has come into this ball game and gotten down to business. Luigi takes strike 1. Jeff Luigi 0 for 3 in this ball game. A strikeout and he grounded into a double play. He did not play in game 1 of this 3-game series last night. Fouls that one. And it's because he's been having some struggles at the plate as of late. 6 strikeouts over his last 3 games of the regular season. He just all of a sudden couldn't find the pitches that he was hitting really, really well in July.
It also seems like he just kind of started expanding the zone a little bit.
That one just misses.
But he did a good job staying selective right there.
We've seen him swing at a couple pitches outside. Feels like he protects the inside of the plate really well. Has some trouble hitting pitches on the inside of the zone. As he stays alive there. But it's been that kind of pitch. Low and away, high and away, where we've seen him bite on more occasions than he did in July.
The outside part of the plate is always difficult for a hitter, especially on same-sided matchups, but that's not the case here.
Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks for Nate Wysong.
Well, Wysong clearly has found the out pitch, and it's the heater, old number 1.
From Stanford, number 17.
Actually missed his location there. He wanted it up and away, but he just overpowered him once more.
Wysong settling in now. Dayton LaChance was the first batter he faced in this appearance, so this kind of serving as his 2nd time through the order. But he struck out LaChance, he struck out Luigi. Bates takes strike 1. Charlie Bates 0 for 2 with a walk in this ball game. Reached first on an E5 back in the 5th. Ground ball up the middle. Riker Waite has to play it on a couple hops. The throw off the bag. And Bates survives yet again.
Well, it just shows the value of putting the ball in play. And Charlie Bates was chugging it down the first base line. But I think if he had a good throw, it would have been bang, bang to say the very least. It was the high hop that really crushed it. And offline, we'll have to wait for the official ruling right there.
Bates for a 2nd time against Nate Wysong, extending an inning a bit. He did so back in the 5th, but Devin Mitchell and Jake Schaffner struck out and grounded out respectively right after him. Check over at Bates, as it is called a single for Charlie Bates. Bates now working a 2-game hit streak after being hitless over his last 7 to end the regular season. Mitchell swings through it.
Well, he went with the breaking ball there, but this inning, it's in all heaters. If he can open up another pitch, he's going to be even more dangerous.
Fly ball into right center field. Mexico and Costello in the area. Costello makes the grab. 2 Ks and a fly ball. The 3 outs in the inning. Bourne bringing their bats back up quickly.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool. They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes has like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Top of the 8th inning between the Braves and the Harbor Hawks as we take a look at Hyannis' upcoming schedule. Game 3, if necessary, and then the championship series would start Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the championship game could be on Monday. A lot of baseball right now, not a lot of off days, just pedal to the metal. And there's nothing quite like playoff baseball. These two teams have showed that, a really, really competitive game.
It's been indicative of the way these two teams have played all season long. Kind of the Harbor Hawks Bourne Braves has been the season series to remember in 2025. Yesterday was an amazing game all the way around. Great pitching, good hitting. Tonight, a little bit more of the same.
Andrew Wirtz trying to go through his 3rd inning of the ball game. He had a phenomenal top of the 7th, 2 strikeouts and a fly out. He's trying to stretch for the 3rd inning, just the first time this season. He pitched for an inning and 2/3 against Harwich and Wareham respectively. So kind of new territory for him, especially here in the Cape League.
It's never too late to get slotted in.
Going to face the bottom 3 in the Braves order: Jason Torres, John LeGrande, and Riker Waite. Torres nails the first pitch to center field. Owen Prince has the speed to get underneath it. And a quick out for Hyannis.
Well, this was a great route, and what I want you guys to pay attention to is look at the way he turned. They teach you you're supposed to turn the other way. Do not turn facing the ball because you can get stumbled, you can lose your footing, and yes, you have to take your eyes off the baseball for just a moment, but it is the right way to do it, and Owen Prince does it by the book.
Brings up John LeGrande, who after going 0 for 3 in yesterday's ball game against the Hawks, has a 2 for 3 ball game going. Back-to-back singles. Grande also first pitch swinging, gets into left field. LeGrande held up after a wide turn. Luigi had a little trouble with the baseball. That's 3 singles now in a row for John LeGrande.
Well, look where Schaffner was playing. He was ready for a drag bunt, so he's playing even with the cut, and that's what allowed that ball to sneak through. Kind of the risk you run playing up against a guy with speed like that, and it just didn't work out to Hyannis' favor in that moment.
LeGrande working a 10-game on-base streak. He's one of 7 hitters on this Bourne Braves team to have an on-base streak of 5 or better. Waite takes a ball, it gets away from Dayton LaChance. LeGrande goes over to second base.
Wild pitches have been a big struggle for Hyannis throughout the later part of July. Wasn't really an issue last night, but tonight, as we see right there, it could be a problem as now it puts the tying run in scoring position. Bourne's already left 9 on base today, so they're looking to make an impact with a chip on their shoulder.
And after going 0 for 9 yesterday with runners in scoring position, the Braves 3 for 11 tonight in that category. Waite fights one right at Schaffner. The third baseman in perfect position, couldn't double up on LeGrande.
Perfect position indeed. He was hugging the line, trying to take away that double. And it works out to the Hyannis' favor right there.
Flips the order for Evan Kelly. 1 for 3 on the day with a single and a walk. Mitch Carricker is going to come out of the dugout and talk to Andrew Wirtz. There's a righty in the bullpen, and it looks like there will be a change. The high leverage closer, Connor Kelly, coming into the ball game. We'll tell you more about him when we come back.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool. They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes have like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting. So I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Connor Kelly has been a big arm for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, only making his 6th appearance, but across 6 innings, he has not allowed a run. 2 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts, and he's coming off a couple really strong performances where he went for more than 1 inning. 1 1/3 against Wareham, 1 2/3 at Harwich. So coming in the top of the 8th with 1 out to go, he has proved that he has the ability to carry through and not just get 3 outs, but get 4 or 5.
Well, we've talked a lot about how Hyannis has the highest bullpen ERA on the Cape, but it seems, at least as of late, with all these new guys coming in, they've got some electric arms in there that are really trying to change that narrative, even with some guys like Zach Edwards and Chandler Dorsey departing over the past couple weeks, who were their high-leverage guys. Now you got guys coming in like Andrew Wartz, who just shoved for the Harbor Hawks, and now here, Connor Kelly.
Kelly's got some electric stuff, fastball, slider, changeup. He's so successful because he just peppers the zone. He's found the zone 65% of the time and has only once stretched into 20 pitches in an appearance. He is, as you would say, very economical in every appearance that he's made.
We love economics here.
He's going to face the top of the order in Gavin Kelly, working with John LeGrande over at second base. Kelly with a single and a walk in this ball game. He's going to try to extend a better number of hitting with runners in scoring position. The Braves 3 for 12 compared to an 0 for 9 performance yesterday. Kelly straightens up. Gavin Kelly.
Front door breaking ball right there. Always a difficult pitch to execute, especially right on right. Sometimes guys get in their head about hitting the guy, but they got to trust that they got to snap it, and it's going to go right back into the zone.
Goes right back to the breaking pitch. Usually when he's made appearances, he starts right away with that fastball. Just locates the zone, establishes it, and then goes to the breaking stuff. But right now, that breaking pitch seems to be a go-to.
Yeah, it was horizontal, coast to coast, inside of the outside. He gripped it and ripped it.
There's the heat right down Broadway. Connor Kelly just misses on the outside corner.
Might have been a little bit down too. Good frame from Dayton LaChance right there.
Kelly gets him this time. The high leverage reliever comes in and strikes out Gavin Kelly with a runner on second base. Hyannis holds on to a 4-3 lead heading into the bottom of the 8th inning.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
When I started teaching on the Cape 30 years ago, you could buy a house on a teacher's salary. But today, teachers, public safety officers, healthcare and hospitality workers, the people who make the Cape work, are struggling to find homes they can afford. And I really worry about the kids who will follow us. I think it's time we learn to do better.
If housing on Cape Cod matters to you, join us at capehousingmatters.org.
Jake Schaffner going to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in a close ball game. This the second time that Hyannis and Bourne have been locked into a one-run game coming into these last couple innings. They're no stranger to this.
And last night, it was a 2-1 lead heading into the bottom, or rather the top of the 9th, where they got insurance. So this is the opportunity. Mitch Carricker's Harbor Hawks wants insurance.
Schaffner going to try to do what no other Harbor Hawk leading off has done in this ball game, and that is get a hit. Or excuse me. Oh, no, yes, try to get a hit. I misread my scorebook. Thought that Owen Prince got a hit in the leadoff spot with a double, but he was the second man up after Jake Schaffner grounded out to Riker Waite. This the second time Schaffner leads off an inning in this ball game. He's very used to that. Spent a lot of the month of July as the leadoff hitter. He takes strike one from Nate Wysong, who's trying to deal into his 4th inning. We talked about it. Wysong was a projected starter for tomorrow, but has come in and shut things down.
Well, this is a must-win game for Bourne. Their backs against the wall.
Schaffner fouls one off.
And it takes an entire opportunity starting pitching-wise off the board for Scott Landers. And Wysong are guys who had a lot of success against this Hyannis team.
Schaffner 0 for 2 with a walk in this ball game. The walk coming all the way back in the second. And he takes strike 3. 6th punch out of the day for Nate Wysong. He is cooking.
Probably had him guessing something else right there because it was the fastball that got a pretty big part of the plate. Schaffner, not a guy who strikes out all too often, especially looking. And for Wysong to be able to do that, it says a lot about how good he's been against Hyannis. But the Harbor Hawks have also seen him a lot this summer at the same tail.
This is Wysong's second time seeing Owen Prince. Prince 2 for 4, a single, a double, and a strikeout in this ball game. Pulled on the ground, into the glove of a diving Torres to throw off the bag. But Wysong covers just in time.
Well, Owen Prince is a speedy runner. Nice job by Wysong. Look at him get that foot in there. It's not even easy to do when you know you got a speedster running down the line.
The Braves trying to bring their bats back up after back-to-back innings, or at least one Brave batter has gotten a hit. Doby takes strike 1. Doby has gotten on base in every at-bat. 2 for 2, also drew a walk, and then hit a sac fly. He fights back with a ball.
This is the makings of a guy who clearly is seeing the ball well right now. He's seeing beach balls up there. He's got confidence, he's got jazz, and he's, even though he's in a 2-strike count, you know he's got the confidence against a guy like Wysong.
Right back up the middle. Gavin Kelly positioned well for the Braves. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Nate Wysong. Still 4-3, top of the 9th coming up. Top of the 9th inning, a 4-3 ball game. Hyannis leading Bourne. As Connor Kelly going to come in and try to shut things down as he did in the top of the 8th. A huge strikeout with John LeGrande on second. A defensive change for manager Mitch Carricker. Parker Brocious in left field playing for Jeff Lugie, who was out there, had a tough day at the plate. Brocious going to try to come in and change things up over there in left field. It's Ryan Cooney, Cal Sefcik, and Luke Costello due up for the Bourne Braves, trying their hardest to get one run and keep their season alive.
And they literally have their backs against the wall here. Scott Landers already deployed a guy like Nate Weissong. This is their all-in game. This is what they want. And you know it's not going to be easy for Hyannis, but they got the right guy on the mound to set it down.
Connor Kelly has 2 saves already this season. He's only playing in his 6th ball game with the Hawks. He is used to these high leverage situations and is looking for 3 quick outs. That's a good way to start.
And he's automatic. We've talked about him peppering the zone. And this is why this back end of the bullpen for Hyannis, while they had a tough regular season, but with guys like Andrew Wirtz and Connor Kelly, could be so dominant.
Kelly. Back-to-back strikes to begin the inning.
And he's staying on the outside part of the plate to Ryan Cooney, a guy who we know can turn on the ball from experience during that season series. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes right back to the outside corner as LaChance looks to be setting up there.
Cooney batted very well against these Harbor Hawks in the regular season. 5 for 12, a .417 average over the course of the season-long series. Went 0 for 4 yesterday with 3 strikeouts. Pulled on the ground. Schaffner charges, throws, and Doby can't quite get the stretch to count. He was just off the bag. Mitch Carricker immediately out of the dugout.
Well, let's take another look. Schaffner knew he had to hurry with the speedy runner. I got out.
Looked like that right foot was on the bag.
And of course the umpire over there has a better angle than we do, of course.
And Mitch Carricker immediately goes back. Umpires are going to talk things over. Crew for tonight: Mike Hinojosa behind home plate, Sam Finn, the umpire who made the call over at first, and then Marvick Gomez over at third base.
And this is a big runner for momentum purposes. It puts a tying run on base.
And it's called safe. It was a pretty short conversation as well. Umpires seem to agree. Leadoff hitter on first for the Bourne Braves. It's the 4th inning in this ball game that the Braves have gotten their leadoff hitter aboard. Sefcik goes ahead. As Ryan Cooney officially reaches third on a throwing error from third baseman Jake Schaffner.
It's now the 3rd error of the game for Hyannis, a team who's struggled in this capacity this season.
Up the middle, a base hit for Cal Sefcik. Cooney gets the hold at second base, a runner in scoring position with no outs.
And that's a dang good piece of hitting. Stayed with the breaking ball right back up the middle. A lot of times it's easy to roll that one over to the left side, and you got to give credit where credit is due to Cal Sefcik.
The middle part of the Braves order, specifically Luke Costello, who's coming up, and Sebastian Mexico, who's warming up on the on-deck circle, have had success in this ball game. Costello with a double back in the 5th inning. Sebastian Mexico 2 for 4 with 2 singles. Strike 1 to Costello. Costello 0 for 2 in yesterday's ball game. Struck out twice, also drew a walk and got hit by a pitch.
Yet to ground into a double play this season. Would be a timely one for Hyannis.
He's down 0-2. Connor Kelly, doesn't matter how much he's been beaten and battered, he always seems to get ahead on the very next at-bat.
And now Costello goes into plate protection mode. Everything's got to go shorter with the swing. You could see him choking up on that bat already.
Kelly gets a big first out.
Well, it's old reliable, outside part of the plate. Look at where LaChance wants it. Pinpoint accuracy right on the black. It doesn't get much better than that.
Double-digit Ks for Hyannis pitching for a second straight ball game against these Braves. Yesterday, Hyannis pitching tallied 12. Right now, with that one, Hyannis at 10. Mexico takes strike one. Sebastian Mexico, an NECBL All-Star with the Valley Blue Sox, had a .375 average over 28 games played. He fouls that one off. He only failed to get on base in one game in the NECBL season. That was June 30th against the Danbury Westerners. He went 0 for 5. That one fouled off, nearly back into the glove of Dayton LaChance. He just couldn't quite get there. After an E5 and a single, Connor Kelly has settled down so nicely.
And he's really going to the opposite part of the plate for the opposite-handed hitters. With the righties, he's going to the outside corner. Lefties, he's going to the away side as well. Dayton LaChance has been consistently going there. We'll see where he wants to go here. Right back to the outside.
That well high. Kelly coming off his only performance of the season where he didn't strike out a batter. He's already got 2 in this ball game, looking for his 3rd. Count runs level. Mexico, a hard guy to strike out. He's only struck out once over 5 games with the Bourne Braves. Another foul ball. That's a 3rd foul ball of the at-bat for Sebastian Mexico. Just playing pesky defense right now, as you said.
20 pitches, 14 strikes for Kelly as well. He's not giving in either.
Fly ball into center field. Owen Prince back a couple steps. Makes the catch, and the runner from second tags. Ryan Cooney will get to 3rd, no problem. The tying run, 90 feet away for the Braves in the top of the 9th.
And that's an important tag in a game where Hyannis already has a wild pitch. And especially...
Fly ball into center field. Owen Prince back a couple steps. Makes the catch, and the runner from second tags. Ryan.
Mitch Carricker heads out.
Kelly is going to face Mark Quattrani. There's nobody warming up in the bullpen for Hyannis down the 3rd base line, so this is Kelly's game to finish. Quattrani 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. He reached first back in the 4th inning on a fielder's choice. This broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited. Mitch Carricker going back to the dugout. Connor Kelly locking in for his appearance against Mark Quattrani. Last game Quattrani played in was August 2nd at Katuitt, a 7-4 win for the Bourne Braves. He went 0 for 3, struck out, and was hit by a pitch. Kelly goes ahead.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see him go to the off speed here, because he honestly wasn't too late at that fastball. Kind of just swung over it. As the chance is set up well in the outside corner, might see the bender.
Runner goes. Pitch catches. Two in scoring position for the Bourne Braves. Kel Sefcik steals. That one just off the plate.
We want it on the outside corner, and that's as close as it gets. Right where Dayton LaChance wanted it.
Laced into left field. Parker Brocious, it's over his head. One scores for the Braves. Here comes the go-ahead run. It's a 2 RBI double for Mark Quattrani. And Bourne, with its back against the wall, finds life.
Well, look at the pitch location. He missed. He wanted it on the outside part of the play. That one leaks middle, belt high. And Brocious, the defensive replacement for Luigi, to get a little bit of an extra push out there. Unfortunately, not able to make the play for Mitch Carricker.
Jason Torres going to try to give Bourne now a little bit of cushion, as the Braves have totally flipped the script. Strike one. Torres, 0 for 4. He reached first on an error back in the 6th. Also flew out into a double play. Devin Mitchell, the right fielder, made a fantastic play to keep Luke Costello at bay. That one nearly catches Torres, and it did.
Should have got him on the forearm, maybe. Still nobody warming up in the bullpen for Mitch Carricker. He's got to go. Let's take another look. Might have grazed it upstairs.
Both Hinojosa behind the plate and Jason Torres reacted very quickly. That's the first hit batsman of the ball game for Hyannis pitching, as John LaGrande is going to come up to the plate. 3 for 4 on the day. LaGrande, 16 RBIs this season. Had the 6th best regular season batting average in the Cape League at .288.
Scott Landers pulling everybody's side to give a game plan. Third base coach, runner on second in Quattrani, Torres, and LaGrande. A true meeting of the minds. An offensive one, a rare one at that as well.
Maybe also serving to ice the pitcher a little bit. Little ice the kicker action. Connor Kelly started out this inning a little tough, an error, and then a single, but locked right back in. A backwards K, and then a fly out from Sebastian Mexico. Was one pitch from ending this ball game, sending Hyannis through to the second round. But Quattrani with a 2 RBI double gave Bourne the lead. LaGrande grounds one fouled on the first base side. That a big chase for Kelly to get LaGrande to chase.
And it's big here for Hyannis to keep the damage at where it is. Just a 1-run deficit would be huge going into the 9th, and you'd have your best part of the order, 3, 4, 5, due up.
Grande calls time at the very last moment. Kelly was up there for a while, just pausing, waiting.
And it's good that he followed through with the pitch, because sometimes it's dangerous for guys to be going 110% and to just stop their motion. Sometimes the best thing to do is just to fire the pitch.
LeGrande went 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk and 2 Ks. He's working a 10-game on-base streak. Includes 3 singles that he had tonight. Foul ball, LeGrande stays alive. LeGrande playing on a bad leg as well. Suffered an injury back in the top of the first ball game that these two teams played yesterday. But after a short injury timeout, popped back up, played the entire rest of the game, and has had a phenomenal night for the Braves, DHing. Kelly gets the big third out. Bourne takes the lead in the top of the 9th, and for the first time in this ball game, the Hawks are fighting from behind.
This will be your college. This will be your home. This is where you will join a community that supports you, cares about you, pushes you, cheers you on, challenges you, inspires you, helps you reach your dreams. Open your eyes to opportunity and your mind to possibility. Your future begins here.
Make a difference. Leave your mark. Break the mold.
Be a leader. Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Bottom of the 9th inning, the Hawks have 3 outs to punch their ticket to the second round of this 2025 Cape League playoffs. And the Braves with a big top of the 9th. It's still Nate Wysong. He's going up against 3-4-5. McKay Camacho and LaChance combined 4 for 12 in this ball game. This is the big 3 that you want up right now if you're manager Mitch Carricker.
And this is the part of the order that has done the most damage as well. Of course, 3, 4, 5, that's what you expect from these hitters. But it's the guys with momentum. These guys are hungry. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. After the bench is cleared after the final out, the emotions are running high. There's passion on both sides. This is a treat to call. There's nothing like postseason baseball.
Ryan McKay going to lead things off. 2 for 4 on the day. Trying to give Hyannis its first hit or even walk of the ball game in the leadoff position. Hyannis 0 for 8 in this game in that category. Yesterday, Hyannis just 1 for 8 against the Braves in the leadoff spot. The Hawks also drew a walk. McKay, first pitch swinging. Fly ball into the outfield. Sebastian Mexico puts one away.
Not a bad idea for Hyannis to go first pitch swinging. They hit over 390 in the regular season on first pitches, but unfortunately here for McKay, just got a little bit under it.
Gabe Camacho comes up 1 for 3 with a hit by pitch in this ball game. He most recently grounded into a double play back in the 6th. He takes strike 1. Camacho with 4 RBIs this season. UC San Diego in the collegiate season, he had 41. And that was largely thanks to some really good big hitting. With UCSD, 7 home runs, 3 triples, and 12 doubles. Camacho goes down on 3 pitches.
Well, we've talked a lot about the out pitch for Nate Weissong, and it's clearly the heater. Elevates the fastball, and it looks so good to the hitter because it's by your eye level, so tantalizing. Down to their last out.
Scott Landers comes up the mound. There is an arm warming up, a righty for the Bourne Braves down the right field line. Landers, no immediate move for the baseball. The next pitcher will go up against Dayton LaChance.
And it might have been kind of a scouting report. That's what it looks like, because this is a guy who has torched the Braves all summer long. We've talked a lot about the big hit. He's the guy who's had the big hit against this Bourne Braves team, largely when that has been missing for Hyannis. He had it yesterday, their sole hit with runners in scoring position. Hawks need it bad, and they got the right guy at the plate.
LaChance 1 for 3 tonight, but over the season series, batting .529 against these Braves with 5 doubles, 6 RBIs, and he crossed home plate 5 times. Good take there from LaChance.
Really good take, and that's an adjustment on a pitch-to-pitch basis because he chased in that location before, and hitting is in every pitch, every adjustment thing, and he just did it right there.
Fouls one off. LaChance down to his last strike. He's been an all-or-nothing batter with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. 14 hits, 1 walk, 13 strikeouts. LaChance coming off a 1 for 4 performance against Bourne yesterday. 2 RBIs, a double. Currently working a 6-game hit streak. Swing and a miss. Weissong gives the Braves a second chance at life. And after trailing the entire ball game, Bourne catches Hyannis at the last moment.
Well, if you're a Harbor Hawks fan, that's a really tough loss. But if you're a baseball fan, you just watched an unbelievable game. This is a Bourne team that time after time left bases loaded, continue to lack that runners in scoring position hit. And then in the 9th inning with the biggest stage down to the literal final out of the season, Mark Rachwani delivered. Hyannis and Bourne, both of them going to be playing with a chip on their shoulders tomorrow at Dorn Park.
Well, don't go anywhere. We've got Hawk Talk Live coming up on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Welcome back to McKeon Park in Hyannis for Hawk Talk Live. The Bourne Braves take down the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 5-4 to force a Game 3. As we welcome you back into the broadcast booth alongside Max Schwartzberg, I'm Graham Nash. Max, for a second day in a row, Hyannis pitching largely put together an unbelievable performance. The Bourne Bats just kind of got to him at the very last second.
They did. The hits stacked up towards those later innings. 10 hits on the day, but a lot of jams that Hyannis worked in and out of, and a lot of bases-loaded jams at that. I know it's a frustrating loss if you're a Harbor Hawks fan. Mitch Carricker, I'm sure, walking away from this loss is not as disappointed as he has in losses before because Bourne earned it. They earned it. They came back. They got that big hit in the 9th inning, and they forced a Hyannis pitching staff that was nails to execute.
The one thing that manager Mitch Carricker has told us this season is that he wants the other team to earn it. And we're going to hear from manager Mitch Carricker in just a moment. He'll be with our very own Giovanni Collada. The other thing that sticks out is that Bourne really just kind of chipped away. Inning by inning, they just slowly started to catch Hyannis, and then the Harbor Hawks couldn't respond.
It seems like the Harbor Hawks might have just felt a little bit comfortable because if you have a nice lead, the pitching's executing, and then all of a sudden you're getting all these jams, as it looks like Mitch Carricker is standing alongside Giovanni Collada.
Thank you, Graham. Coach, a wild finish to what was a great game. What do you make of those last couple of innings?
Yeah, I mean, really well-played game on both sides. You know, unfortunately, we left a pitch up a little bit. The guy puts a good swing on it. That's the way it goes sometimes, but really well played on both sides.
Your bats surged out in front, 4 runs to Bourne's none. What was working so well for them at the plate?
Yeah, we got good pitches to hit. We put good swings on it. Used the whole field, which was nice. You know, we executed really well. You know, Dobby with the sac fly was big, and so just doing those little things is good. You know, Weissong unfortunately came in and was really, really good for the rest of that game, and so you know, got to tip your hat to him. But we got to find a way to score more runs tomorrow.
You got Game 3. Season does not end there, but it will be on the line tomorrow at Doran Park. What needs to change?
Nothing. Our guys did good. Bullpen did good. Max gave us a good start. You know, defense, we can clean some of that stuff up a little bit. But other than that, I think our guys are playing hard. They're giving us everything they got. So we're going to empty the tank tomorrow and see what happens.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Guys?
Thanks, Coach. All right, thank you so much, Gio, and thank you, manager Mitch Carricker, as well. Max, I mean, that last pitch that we talked about that led to that big swing from Quatrani, Coach said it, just a little bit left high in the zone.
And Connor Kelly was nails all outing long, and that's what baseball is. It's one pitch. It's one adjustment. It's sometimes one bad pitch. And you got to give credit where it's due to the Bourne Braves for finally taking advantage because Connor Kelly, that was probably the only mistake pitch he truly threw all out, and that was a slider that Dane LaChance wanted on that low and outside corner that just leaked middle, belt high, and he was able to get extended.
Well, let's take a look at how things stand now in this postseason. Katuitt moves on, sweeps the Wareham Gate men, and then the Whitey Red Sox did the same to Orleans. Brewster won a big ball game today to stay alive in that series, and Bourne, of course, did the same in this to fight for another day here in the Cape League. Big ball game, another big one coming up tomorrow, and it feels like if there's anything for this Hyannis Harbor Hawks team to clean up, which there's really not much because Mitch Carricker said it, he feels like this team's playing really good ball. It might be, again, those middle innings just proving to be a little bit tough for the Hyannis Bats to stay hot.
And especially against these Bourne Braves during the season series, it was the middle innings. Of course, that loss back on July 16th. What sticks out the most, because the bullpen kind of wavered in that game, the offense brought the tying run to second base in the 9th inning. But tonight, you know, after the game, Mitch Carricker said it. What needs to change for tomorrow? Nothing. He likes the way the team played. They executed their pitches. It was one singular pitch that changed the trajectory of the game and potentially the season for the Braves, who were down to their final strike.
Well, that's going to do it for us here at McKeon Park. For our entire production crew, Charlie Adams, Daniel Bottolino, and James Kluggish. For our sideline reporters, Ava Fernandez and Ethan Wax. And then my partners, Max Schwartzberg and Giovanni Collada. I'm Graham Nash saying so long. We will see you tomorrow for a win-or-go-home ball game between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Bourne Braves at Doran Park.
I think, Dean, they're allowing you to find your own success and your own true independence.
Dean is a whole group of all different kinds of people and communities.
Since I've come to Dean, I've learned a lot of time management skills.
Our community is especially tight-knit, and the majority of our students live on campus. And you are guaranteed 4 years of housing while you attend Dean.
Dean is just full of opportunities for you to embrace, to welcome, so you can change yourself to who you want to be and form your career for the future.
So go through that, all right? Think that way.
Be a bulldog. Have a bulldog mentality in everything you do in life, whether you're playing sports or in the classroom or just socializing around campus.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.